game time. WNKX welcomes you to this live presentation of local high school sports, made possible by our community advertising partners.
Welcome to WNKX Live. We are live here in J.E. Cisco Memorial Gymnasium in Centerville, Tennessee, as we continue on with Game 2 of this 3-game home stretch that we have this week. And yesterday, Cam, it was a good one. It was a good night for the boys, but for the girls, though, they did find a little bit of trouble with Marshall County. They were unable to get over this obstacle. They fell to the Lady Tigers by a final score of 37-34 in a game where it looked like they just couldn't play a complete game of basketball. Now, we did see some production, more so than the first time these two played, it seemed. Ava Floyd put 16 points up on the board, and everyone else seemed pretty balanced. We saw 4 from Gordon, 4 from Everett, 3 from Bentley, 3 from Warren, and 4 from Chilton. So while this isn't just an awful performance, Cam, they're going to need to step it up here tonight if they want to beat Waverly.
Yeah, and Josh, the good thing is the fourth quarter last game, they almost came back and won that game. And so bringing what you brought in that fourth quarter last night is going to be key, right? Because the energy, the effort, the attention to detail was there in that fourth quarter, right? We would have loved for that to have been the whole game, but that wasn't the result we got. But we can change that today, right? If we bring the right energy, right effort, we can flip the script, right, and get back into the way we know how to play ball.
Well, and the girls have been on a hot streak, too, to say the least, right? Last week, a big win over Columbia Academy, big win over Fairview. So they were bound to run into a bump in the road at some point, and it just so happened to come last night. But remember, the Lady Dogs are still 6-4. They still have a potential to win the week this week so long as they take care of Waverly tonight and then take care of Perry County on Thursday. So I think it's all about putting that in the rearview mirror and only doing what you can do here tonight. And I'm looking forward to seeing Delaney King get back involved. Yesterday, didn't see any offensive production from her, but if she can start going back to that physical game that she'd been playing last week, I think she'll be very productive here tonight and Thursday. So I'm looking at Delaney King. I'm looking at Zoe Chilton, who did hit a big 3 in the game yesterday, but not much else beyond that. And we know Zoe's a talented young lady. She can shoot from all areas on the floor, even though she would be considered a big who's more dominant underneath. So a very diverse player, looking to see Zoe step up here tonight. And Ava, I'm looking to see Ava Floyd do just more of the same, right? She didn't play a perfect game yesterday, but when you're putting up 16 points, almost more than the rest of your team combined, I think you can't ask for much more than that, but I know she wants to step up her game as well. So looking for an all-around performance, looking to see more minutes out of Carly Everett as well. Right, we saw her come in yesterday at the end of the game, ice cold, right? She drills a three-pointer, gets the girls back into the game, and almost hits a three-point and one that would have tied the game, and that was the difference in the 37-34 final. So I think Coach Gordon likes what he sees out of Everett, and I'm looking to see how he uses her here tonight.
Yeah, Josh, I fully expect Carly Everett to get a lot more minutes tonight because the young lady proved last night that in big moments she's there. And what an incredible job to come in yesterday, not really be involved since the first half and knock that thing down. But Josh, you mentioned Delaney King. Last night, not a great performance, let's be honest. And whatever that might be, you have to forget that. You have to put that behind you. These Waverly Tigers tonight, they're not a big team, right? So tonight I see it as a perfect opportunity for Delaney to get back in the groove against a smaller team.
And I think, you said it best there, Cam. I think you have to play into your strengths, right? I think tonight will be a great opportunity for Delaney to boost her confidence and, as you said, get back into that groove that, frankly, she was on last week, right? Coach Gordon was giving her mountains of praise because of how she had been playing underneath. And I think, we know what she's capable of. We've seen what she can do. But what's important is, does she remember what she can do? Is she aware of what she's capable of? And if she can get into that killer mentality, I think Hickman County will be in good shape for games to come this season.
Yeah, Josh, and honestly, it is the whole team's attitude tonight that has to be one of confidence, right? And like I said, like we already talked about, that fourth quarter was great last night, but what about the first three, right? And they still know that in the back of their minds that happened, and they weren't locked in, and they weren't playing a great game. And so are they going to let those 3 quarters they played yesterday and the fact that they lost because of them, plague their mind? Or is what going to be on their mind the fourth quarter last night and how they almost pulled it out and how they executed on both sides of the ball and how the communication was great and how they did the little details right. And so it's what they're going to focus on tonight coming into this game that you will see the repercussions of. And so hopefully they dwell on the good that they did, and that motivates them to continue tonight.
I couldn't agree more, Cam. And, it's always hard, to enter a game and face a team you've already lost to, right? Because you have that mental obstacle, right? You can already get in your own head and kind of psych yourself out, right? And you see that in all kinds of sports. Whenever you face a team that you just feel like has your number and there's no possible way that you can win. And maybe that's what we saw out of the Lady Dogs last night. Maybe it was that mental battle that they couldn't win, right? And then whenever they realized that, hey, we have a chance in this, it was too little too late. But I think if the Lady Dogs play a complete game, they can hang with the absolute best of them.
Yeah, and looking at this game tonight against Waverly we know is not the most highly thought of team at the moment. Coming in, we heard that they're not Marshall County, right? They're not. They don't have a number 1 from Marshall County last night. That was absolutely dominating the game on both sides of the ball and always in the passing lanes. And so tonight, a arguably less tough opponent. You can't play down to them. I think that's another big thing tonight is not playing down to your competition, and that's not to insult the young ladies, but you do have to recognize that they are not as good as Marshall County, and so matching that and playing this game hard.
I agree, Cam, but only time will tell. And folks, we will be back on WNKX tip-off just a few moments away.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life,
your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the energy pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
And welcome back to WNKX. I'm Josh Copley alongside my broadcast colleague Cameron Peters. Our producer tonight is Riley Mangrum. Such a wonderful crew we have here tonight, and a very special thank you to Matthew Dotson and his AV class for putting together the student-led team. They have been a big help to us here at WNKX, and the stream would not be the same without them. And folks, we appreciate you for tuning in tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. We appreciate your viewership, and we appreciate your support of the station. Now at this time, both teams are introducing their starting lineups. And Cam, as we mentioned before we took the break, right, Waverly, not quite a Marshall County, but no game is ever guaranteed in basketball. If the Lady Dogs come out playing lackadaisical, playing on their heels, they will get beat, right? So I'm looking to see a certain intensity from this team tonight that hopefully Coach Gordon has instilled in them.
Yeah, an intensity and an urgency, Josh. An urgency is important. Winning is important, and I want to see them recognize that and realize that and play that way. That it's not every game that you play, it's not technically a must-win, but give it the importance of that, right? And so come into this game as if it is the final of the state tournament, and it's give it everything you got, because it is, I mean, you do have a numbered amount of these games, right, before the season's over. So appreciate every chance that you do get. Come out and play your heart out, no matter the opponent.
Oh, I agree, Cam. And also, I mean, a win tonight would be huge for the mentality and the mindset of these girls going forward, because losing 2 in a row hurts, right? And it's hard to recover from that. But I know these girls could if they lost tonight, but you don't want to think about that. You want to win. You want to get back on track so you don't have time to dwell on the losses. So we are here ready for tip-off. Delaney King will be in the middle for the Lady Dogs. In the starting 5 for Hickman County will be Ava Floyd, Haley Gordon, Delaney King, Chloe Warren, and Zoe Chilton. And Waverly tips it, but Gordon picks it up and takes it to the basket. And a quick 2 points. Quick as lightning there, Cam, as Hickman County strikes first.
Yeah, and I love the aggressiveness and attentiveness to know that she can do that.
And Waverly now tries to drive in. Puts it up. No good, too strong. Oh, and it's a scrap for the ball, and the officials will call a jump. So Cam, Hickman County out here playing aggressive, playing scrappy early, and that's a good sign for the Dogs, even though we've only been playing for 19 seconds.
Yeah, but that young lady from Waverly just matches. There's a block from Chilton heading the other way.
Now Ava with the ball at the right side of the floor. Kicks it back out. Now to Gordon. Gordon passes underneath the King. King out to Chilton. Dribbles into the paint. Loses handle of it. And it's picked up by Waverly. Now slowly taking up the floor are the Tigers. Looking to set up and run their offense. Chloe Warren playing tight defense. Ball now in the right corner. King there to guard. Now she dribbles around to the top. Very methodical offense here. Very slow pace for Waverly. Ball now at the left wing. Now she dribbles up top. Now out to the right wing. Floyd there to meet her. Tries to pass in the paint. Haley Gordon says not today as she gets the takeaway and gives to Floyd. Floyd on the breakaway. Tries to bounce pass it to King, but off the legs of Delaney. Waverly will take over.
Josh, and these Lady Dogs came out in a man-on-man defense right now. Not overly aggressive, but they are jumping passing lanes as Haley Gordon has already gotten a couple steals.
Now Floyd in the face of the ball handler, and she tries to give it off. But Chloe Warren will knock it out of bounds, and it will stay with the Tigers. So your score here early, Lady Dogs 2, Tigers 0. 6:17 to go in the first quarter. Pass underneath, looking, and she travels. And see, Cam, that's the effect that Delaney King has. When she turned around, she panicked, seeing Delaney in her face, and it caused that foot shuffle right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job there by King to be set up in the right position, and great job on help side there as well, being there to double her.
And Chilton now at the left elbow, tries to dribble in, tough drive, no good, knocked away by Waverly. So Tigers bring up the floor, Warren there at the logo to meet the ball handler. Drives in, spin move at the free throw stripe, looks for a mid-range floater, no good, and tipped out of bounds by Chloe Warren. So Cam, these Bulldogs playing some good defense thus far in this contest.
Yeah, and right now, like, I understand you played a long game last night, a difficult game last night. You're playing another one tonight, but they're looking a little out of it mentally. Not quite a sharpness to them.
And Hickman County comes out of the pile with the ball, and Gordon quickly up the floor. Dribbles around, finds King at that left elbow. Back out to Chilton, now over to Warren, now to the corner. Ava pulls up from 3, got it! And Ava Floyd, her first bucket of the game, is from beyond the 3-point line. 5-0 your score, 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Early tries to dribble in, she loses a handle, but a little too much contact there by Haley Gordon.
Now, Josh, Haley Gordon has came out guns a-blazing tonight. She has looked great so far, putting pressure on the ball handler when she's on the girl, and as
Gordon pokes it away. Picked up by Warren, a nice job to keep her balance there, does Chloe, and she'll bring it up the floor. Gives over to Gordon. Now to Chilton, quick pass out to Floyd, again from 3. No good off the back of the rim, and picked up by Waverly. And Gordon, no, it's Floyd that rips it away, but Floyd loses handle, and she does force the jump ball. And that was some chaos there, Cam.
Yeah, and one thing that you can't say right now is that these Lady Dogs aren't hustling. They've been all over the floor. They have been doing a great job of giving full effort, right? Although they might not be super sharp, they are making it up for it for the hustle.
Now Nola Bentley will check in for Chloe Warren. Bentley over to Floyd. Floyd being guarded, gives over to Gordon. Gordon back to Bentley. Bentley back to Floyd. Quick pass to Chilton. Looking to swing it out to Gordon. Gordon now on the baseline. Mid-range. It falls. Great shot by Haley Gordon. Her second bucket of the game.
Yeah, Waverly's playing that 2-3 zone right now. That it's really that kind of dribble drive there is a great thing to do if you're on offense, as Lady Dogs were.
Now an errant shot there by Waverly. Almost picked up there by the Lady Dogs, and Cam, it looked like Bentley trying to force the jump ball, but if you wrap around from behind, that's just way too much contact that you're initiating right there. And Hickman County will take their first timeout, and Cam, things have looked pretty okay for the Bulldogs. I mean, you're up 7-0, can't complain too much, but still probably a little sloppier than Coach Gordon wants them to look.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. And you know, finding your footing after a really tough night last night, it's going to take a second, honestly, because, you know, like we talked about, great fourth quarter, but understand they're going to be tired, and they're going to be, like, not only exhausted physically, but exhausted mentally. That was a game last night that went down to the literally 0.4 seconds, right? And so when you have to be that mentally into a game as well that long, it's going to exhaust you in both ways, and it's hard to lock back in, but they're finding their groove.
And Waverly pulls it from the left wing, and she knocks down the 3. That's Rhodes. 7-3 now your score, but the Lady Dogs quickly pushing up the floor. Gordon, mid-range, falling out of bounds. An incredible shot by Haley Gordon. Gordon already with 6 points in the game, and she is making her presence felt. They're playing tough defense. Oh, and a lot of contact there. It looked like Floyd was about to knock it away, but a nice job by that Waverly player to maintain control there. That's tough to do.
Yeah, Josh, and we with this full court man press that the Lady Dogs are running right now, they're trying to run a trap out of it, but when they need to run the trap, the player that's actually guarding who is dribbling needs to, like, step in front and kind of stop them to make them change direction so that the other person can catch up and can be a more effective double.
On a great pass there by Waverly into the paint. Unable to cap off the basket, but she is fouled, and that will send number 14 Damesworth to the line. And they will get, I believe, Carly Everett with the foul, number 5. And the first free throw rattles in for Waverly. And Haley Gordon will be checking back in for Nola Bentley. Free throw number 2 on the way. It's up, and it's no good, but rebounded by Waverly. They try to drive in, put it up, no good, but they will say she walked. Turnover, possession Hickman County.
Yeah, and if I'm these Lady Dogs, I'm realizing, like, hey, Waverly is hurting themselves right now. They're playing a little out of control, a little out of whack. So I'm going to play solid defense and let them beat themselves.
Some quick ball movement here for the Lady Dogs. Chilton dribbles back around. Nice pass to Gordon from mid-range. Can't knock it down. Rebounded by the Tigers.
Yeah, but great passing right there by Chilton, and great take there to recognize you can backdoor cut and get that good shot in the lane there.
And a deep three from Waverly won't fall. Chilton right there to get the rebound. And Cam Waverly not very aggressive in the paint right there. But Chilton brings it in. She wants to drive it herself to the basket. Oh, my, and we heard the slapping of skin from up here, Cam, and that will send Zoe Chilton to the line.
Yeah, great job by Zoe there to go through that contact and take that shot. Great job there in transition to force the ball up the floor.
So Zoe with a chance for her first points of the game. And there's number 1 for Zoe Chilton. 10-4, now your score. And number 2 is up, and number 2 is no good. Rebounded by the Tigers, and they try to push it up the floor in a hurry, but the pass gets away, and Everett there to corral it. Hickman County will take over. Everett dashing down the court, gives to Gordon. At the left wing, Gordon dribbles around, gives to Warren at the right wing. Now Chilton in the right corner. Feeds over to Gordon. Gordon back to Warren. Warden to Everett. Everett wants to drive on the baseline, nothing there. And she loses control, and Waverly will take over as the ball falls on the baseline.
Yeah, Josh, and I know that she kind of lost handle there, but I want to see more from her, especially on the offensive end. I love how she was aggressive on the drive, right? But kind of drive with a plan there, and that's just a learned thing. Remember, she is a freshman, as impressive as she is, so those mistakes still come around.
And an errant pass by Waverly falls right into the arms of Ava Floyd, gives Everett. It's up. And no good, but Floyd gets the rebound at the free throw stripe, puts it up and in, and one, as that sends Ava Floyd to the free throw line.
And great offensive possession there. I love that take from Carly Everett. I'm not going to be upset at any Carly Everett shot after the way she played last night, or the way she shot last night.
And Ava Floyd completes the three-point play, 6 points now for Floyd in the game. The Bulldogs, this relentless press look here. Oh, and Everett hits the floor hard. No foul called. And Waverly will bring it up the floor. Floyd making it difficult for him to even cross the midcourt line. Oh, and Everett tries to knock it away and succeeds. But Waverly will maintain possession, and they do get Carly Everett on the foul.
And Josh, how many times have we talked about it? They're gonna call the foul when you put your hand on their hip or your hand on their torso. When you're playing defense, there you have got to have your hands up. A little contact around the shoulders, they usually give you that. You can't touch their lower half. That's going to throw them off. That's going to make it an obvious foul.
And at freshman for freshman here, Cam, as Tinley Davis will check in for Carly Everett. And Waverly knocks down both free throws. 13-6 now, your score in favor of the Lady Dogs. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Floyd gives to Gordon. Gordon looks to drive, but kicks back out. Floyd, a deep three. No good. But Gordon tips it out to Warren. Warren over. Oh. And Cam, that was a missile of a pass there from Floyd to King, and King just unable to handle it there as it flies out of bounds, and Waverly will take possession.
But I do love the quick swing, right? Getting that ball in your hands, getting rid of it's going to create more open shots.
Hickman County a tough press. Looked like they were about to rear back and throw a coast-to-coast pass, and Hickman's defense at first forced the 5-second violation, but they say timeout was called first. But Cam, if you're Coach Gordon, you love that, right? You should be fired up that your girls are able to force a 5-second violation. I mean, there was nowhere to go with that basketball.
Yeah, they did a great job covering that inbounds there. Absolutely making it tough on that young lady, because the one option that was slightly open was a touchdown pass, and they don't have Elisha Puckett, Josh.
I was about to say the same thing, Cameron. We'll talk more about that later, but man, Elisha Puckett and his coast-to-coast passes. So fun to watch last night. So both teams emerged from the timeout, and that was a very heads-up timeout by the coach of Waverly there. Saw her girls were in trouble. High basketball IQ timeout there, and they will try yet again to break through this impenetrable Hickman County defense. And this time a much easier pass in here, but Hickman's still pressing. They try to bring it up the right side of the floor, looking for help. Gordon all over. Oh, and Gordon tries to rip it away, Floyd rather, tries to rip it away. And she's called for a foul.
And Josh, if you're going to jump the passing lane, jump it early, right? You should see it early. If you're going to be late, know that you have a higher chance of a foul, so just set up for when she turns around. We saw that with Delaney King earlier. She wasn't going to be able to steal the ball, so she just set up in a solid position and caused a turnover there.
Now, Cam, while I think Coach Gordon appreciates the aggressiveness of his defense, I mean, they're starting to really creep up there in number in the foul column, right? I mean, most of Waverly's points have been from the free throw line.
Yeah, Josh, from now on, the rest of this quarter, Waverly gets to shoot free throws on a foul.
And mid-range from Warren, doesn't find it, and knocked out of bounds, and the referees will signal Waverly basketball. And that was a tough mid-range shot there by Warren. It looked good from here, but of course sometimes the rim can be very unforgiving. Waverly looks to inbound it here. Oh, and she rears back again looking for the deep bomb, but pulls it back and passes it in shortly. Now Waverly brings up the right side of the floor. Tinley Davis guarding in the paint. The shot is up, and it is good. And seems like one of the first shots there not on a free throw.
Yeah, and you got to communicate there. There's a screen that's coming, and Zoe had no idea and ran straight into it.
When a tough mid-range shot there by Floyd won't fall. And Cam, Waverly starting to crawl back into this. 13-10 your score, and yet another layup, but this one doesn't fall. Rebounded by Warren. 40 seconds to go. Lady Dogs lead by 3, looking to add on. Floyd tries to drive in, and she is fouled.
Now, Josh, somebody has to take reins of this offense. I don't know who it needs to be, but somebody needs to step up and take control right now, because it looks like they don't really have an offensive plan. They haven't found their footing yet in this game, and the quickest way to do that is for somebody to say, hey, I'm taking control of this, whether it is Coach Gordon or it is a player on the floor.
And Gordon pulls up from the corner, too strong as it goes off the rim, but rebounded. Chilton tries to put it back, and she does. 2 points for Zoe. That was a tough bucket there, Cam. Looked like there was a lot of contact.
Yeah, absolutely, and a huge offensive rebound there. I think that could get us going.
Now Waverly pushing it up, less than 10 seconds. A quick shot, no good. Put back, and Chilton gets a hand on it. And some more tremendous defense. And Warren will dribble it out. And at the end of the first quarter, Hickman County leads by 5, 15-10. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on WNKX.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge. It's cutting the shareable squares.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago.
And welcome back to WNKX. We are almost ready to go for second quarter basketball. And Cam, 15-10. Of course, Hickman County in the lead. Never going to complain about that, but they haven't looked their best. A lot of fouls, already over 5 in this first quarter of play alone.
Yeah, and a part of those fouls is being tired from last night, right? Fouling is the easy way to make them get a difficult bucket, right? But I would love to see us. I would love for everyone to rally around Haley Gordon tonight, Josh. She has been electric on defense. All of her points have come from great defensive decisions and plays.
So Waverly with the ball first in the second quarter. Tough pass underneath. Gets away from the Lady Tigers. Prince was looking for Damesworth, but unable to find her, and Hickman County will take over. Chloe Warren brings it up the floor, crossing the logo. Gives over to Floyd. Floyd over to Davis. Davis to Warren. Warren in the corner to Gordon. Gordon passes over to Floyd. Davis now to Warren.
And Josh,
Back to Floyd.
Waverly's currently in a 3-2 as Floyd throws an errant pass that goes Waverly's way. I felt like that was tipped, but so be it.
And I believe that's what they're discussing right now, Cam. And they will say Hickman County ball. It was tipped. I mean, you saw the flight pattern change there of that basketball. So great job by the officials there to talk it over and to correct that call.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job by them. But as I was saying, Waverly's in a 3-2 right now. That's forcing our girls to what they need to do to break this is get the ball below the volleyball line, right? We've talked about shrinking a zone before as they do it right there. Chloe Warren getting inside. Great job there. But as I was saying, getting that ball below the volleyball line is going to collapse the top player down, and that's going to cause a sink in for the defense where you can take the ball from the wing and then pass it back around. You're going to have open shots up top that way, or if they over-rotate, you can have a shot, you can get the ball back down in the middle.
Chloe Warren knocks down her first free throw. Number 2 doesn't go in, and it's rebounded by the Tigers. Kinley Davis playing some aggressive defense here. Not giving her much room. The pass sails over, and Chilton picks it up. And it goes out of bounds on Zoe. I appreciate the hustle there, Ken. Even though she did knock it out of bounds, it does stay with Waverly. I mean, definitely not an easy pass there at all.
Yeah, Josh, great job. And I love to see that because that means, hey, maybe Coach Gordon said something to him. Maybe they just decided, hey, we're going to lock in, give a little more attention to detail.
Waverly with the ball up top. Floyd there on defense. They pass it back out up top. Drives in, kicks it back out. Prince from 3. No good off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Warren. Warren a deep pass to Chilton, and it gets away, but Bentley there to corral it. Floyd dribbles in to the stripe. Passes back out to Warren. Warren dribbles in hard. Kicks it back out. Bentley from deep. Knocks it down. A big 3 for Nola Bentley and Cam. I'm hoping that's what Nola needs to get her confidence back. That's a big 3 right there, and I hope they keep feeding her throughout this game.
Yeah, and I love the confidence to go ahead and shoot that one, right? There's not really an offense going on, and she just pulled the trigger.
And the layup is no good, and Chilton picks it up and wants to drive it down the floor. Give to Floyd. She'll pull up from the left corner. Oh, no good. It rattled around for what felt like forever. Warren gets the rebound, and the putback is no good. Rebounded by Waverly, and they get the ball back out. It's now the Lady Tigers. Now try to push it down the floor. Warren there playing tight defense. She drives to the paint. Tough shot, and it falls. An impressive shot there by Waverly. 19-12 now your score. Bulldogs in the lead. 5:30 to go in the first half. Now the corner. Gordon will pull up from 3. No good. Too strong there as it bounces off the glass. Picked up by the Tigers.
And not the worst take there in the world, but something that we can get anytime, right? We just talked about flattening out that defense right there. Gordon, if I was her, I'm either driving baseline or jabbing baseline, attacking middle, trying to pull the middle defender from up top into me, kicking to the top at Ava Floyd.
Waverly will inbound. They try to drive around the left side. They kick it back out to the left wing. Now up top. Pump fakes a 3 and dribbles back out. Floyd knocks it away and picks it up. Give Ava the steal. Out of the corner. Gordon dribbles on the baseline. Mid-range. Good. And Cam, that was right on cue. Looks like you can predict the future there as Haley Gordon does exactly what you just said.
Yeah, great job there by the young lady to take advantage of a defender that's overplaying you, driving right by her.
So now Waverly tries to answer back at the left wing. Gordon there on the ball handler. Tries to pass. Deep 2 there, no good. Nice rebound by Chilton. Oh, but Waverly hops in there to rip it away. And the officials will call a jump ball. Possession will stay with Hickman County. It seems like Zoe Chilton draws more jump balls than anyone else on this team, Cam.
Yeah, Josh, and it's not a result from the typical jump ball where you have the ball down around your chest and you make a mistake on offense. It is getting the rebound and then somebody just swarming her after. But either way, you know, a jump ball usually means a hustle play from somebody, so you love to see it either way.
Chilton, nice pass. Owen Gordon's mid-range shot, no good. Knocked away by Waverly. The Tigers on the move up the left side of the floor. Now high right pass underneath, now to the right corner. No good, shot too strong. Waiting to see on the official ruling, and they say Hickman County ball. Nice job there by Chilton. And we saw a similar play by Dylan Qualls last week, right? He boxed out towards the corner. He knew who it was going out on and ensured they didn't have a chance to keep it alive. And that's what Zoe Chilton did right there. A nice heads-up play by number 30. And the Lady Dogs will bring it up the floor, crossing the midcourt line. Floyd gives over to Gordon. Gordon will drive in hard. Spins out looking for help. And Floyd right there to help her out. She puts up a two-pointer, no good. And that will send Ava to the line. And Cam, I mean, this entire season, Ava Floyd has been driving in like Danica Patrick. I mean, it has been so fun to watch her aggressiveness in the paint. Ava's first free throw, no good, rattles off the rim.
Yeah, Josh, great analogy there. Excellent use of an analogy. But Ava right there saw the defender from the top. That's the thing, how to stop a 2-3 or 3-2 zone from working is playing whatever the top player does, right? And she saw her sink down, left the lane wide open for her to cut.
And Waverly pulls up from three, no good. Chilton tips it away, but rebounded by the Tigers. Pass from the right elbow, no good. Chilton this time picks it up and secures it. And she'll dribble it out and then give over to Floyd. A bullet pass to Gordon. One-on-one spin, no good, just short. And Floyd tries to hurry in there to draw the jump ball, but I think they got Ava with a foul.
Yeah, Josh, and Haley Gordon right there has to realize we have a 2-on-1 and she's running over towards me. She has one of two options. Try to beat her to the baseline and pass underneath her, or take one dribble back out, drop that ball off, right? And hey, still not a bad take, right? It wasn't not a bad shot by any means, but if you make that extra pass.
Waverly's three bounces high off the rim, no good, and Bentley picks it up, and Nola Kate is fouled. So a tough rebound there by Nola Bentley, showing some fire here. And Zoe Chilton will get a well-deserved rest as Kobe Warren will check in for her.
Yeah, and right there, unsung hero, Ava Floyd. Incredible box out, not letting that girl by her.
Ava now bringing it slowly up the court, gives to Bentley at the right wing. The corner, Everett back to Bentley. Bentley over to Warren. Warren back to Bentley. Nice pass to Floyd, and Floyd tries to kick it out to the corner where a wide open Carly Everett was waiting, but the pass knocked away and taken away by the Tigers. Now Waverly on the drive. Pass over to the right corner, pulls up from three. It's Prince, well short off the rim. Picked up by King. King to Everett. It's a fast break. Stops, pass to Floyd, tough shot, no good. But number 20 will go to the free throw line. And Cam, that was a nice job by Everett to stay balanced on that jump stop. I mean, most other players, they would find themselves traveling or walking or something else. But Everett stays strong with her lower body, makes a nice pass to Floyd. Floyd tries to make a shot on the rim, but is fouled and goes to the line where she misses free throw number 1.
Yeah, absolutely there. And again, Delaney King, great box out underneath, and it caused the ability to get it going.
So now Waverly, following the made free throw by Floyd, looking to answer back. 23-12 your score. Hickman leads, just under 2 to go in the first half. Pull up from 3, won't go. Rebounded by Waverly. Tough dribble, tries to put it back up, no good. But she's fouled and will go to the line. And Cam, these girls are playing physical on both ends here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And Josh, we just talked about boxing out. They had done a great job, 4 possessions in a row boxing out right there. Nobody boxed that young lady out, and we see that she gets a chance to get those points at the free throw line. We have to box out.
And Damesworth's first free throw will fall, bringing it to a 10-point game, 23-13. Free throw number 2 is up, and it is in. Now Warren bringing it up the floor, gives over to Floyd at the right wing, now to the corner, Everett. Dribbles out, gives back to Ava. Ava over to Bentley, Bentley to Warren. Bentley now to Warren again. Floyd pulls up from deep three, too strong. Oh, and Bentley tried to save it there, but the officials say it hit the baseline before they get a chance to save it, and Waverly will take over.
So, Josh, right now the Lady Dogs are doing a very good job of having a motion to combat this, and they just switched into their hybrid defense. That's what we'll call it from now on. Maybe to cause a few turnovers before the end of the half.
And Waverly finally gets a 3 to fall. Cam, they've been a little cold here in this first half, but hopefully that's, or hopefully not. You know, hopefully they don't start heating up here after that. So.
Well, Josh, as I was saying, these young ladies and Chloe.
Warren can't knock down the 3, rebounded, and Floyd puts it back up from mid-range.
Great job there following up by Ava Floyd. But so these Lady Dogs, they're running a motion offense to break this zone where they're passing the ball quick to the corner and looking to the middle. It's a great job because that's going to draw 2 of those defenders in the zone and cause them some havoc to look opposite for a 3 or to look back inside. Great job.
And a quick pass underneath, and she will walk. So a nice job there by Floyd, causing her to panic, and that forces the walk. Now with 23 seconds, Hickman County looking to make the final shot of the first half, 25-17 your score. Floyd taking her time, wanting to run down as much clock as she can. Over to Everett. Out of the corner, it's King. King back to Floyd. In the corner, Everett puts it up. No good. Oh, and Warren tries to come in for the rebound. Won't find it. Waverly rebounds it, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. And at the end of the second quarter, Hickman County leads 25-17. Folks, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge. It's cutting the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life,
your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the energy pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
And welcome back to WNKX. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Josh Copley, joined by Cameron Peters. Producer for tonight is Riley Mangrum, and a very special thank you to all the student-led crew that make this broadcast possible. Very special thank you as well to our head of operations, Will Nunley. And Cam, it was a pretty good first half for the Lady Dogs. Of course, not perfect, but they do currently sit on a 25-17 lead. Now, I look here at the production here on the stat sheet. Haley Gordon has looked phenomenal. She's had 8 points so far. Ava Floyd has had 10. Those two ladies have been the main producers for tonight. And Cam, I've loved seeing Haley Gordon start to get back to her true form.
Yeah, she's been super aggressive tonight, Josh. I love seeing the young lady take charge. There for, a 3-game stretch, 4-game stretch, she wasn't in the starting lineup. You could tell she was struggling. And I don't know when she clicked it back on, but hey, she has, and I'm here for it, Josh. She has been so aggressive this game on defense. She's really been an enforcer on the defensive end, and I think only one of her, that little mid-range shot that she hit was the only bucket that didn't come directly from a steal. And so great job by her on defense, turning that into offense.
Absolutely, Cam, and I think Haley serves as almost like a spark plug for this team. I mean, she plays with a fire every time she's out there. You know, sometimes has it gotten her in foul trouble? Yes, but I think if you're a coach, you absolutely love seeing that hustle and that physicality that she brings to the team. And not only does it fire up a coach, but it also inspires those around her as well. So I think Haley Gordon does so much for this team, and I'm glad to see her doing well here tonight. And Cam, I tell you what, these back-to-back games are not only brutal on the players, but they're brutal on us too, man. I am beat.
Yeah, Josh, I'm not going to lie. That first half, not totally locked in, but hey, there's a resilience to this, Josh. That's what we're learning. There's a resilience to this, and we're going to bring it tonight. Okay, we're locking in from this half onward. Okay, this is going to be the best game and a half of basketball you have ever heard broadcasted on WNKX or anywhere ever.
Hey, I'm with you, Cam. I'm ready to go. I just drank 17 Red Bulls, and I'm fired up. We're 20 seconds or so away from resuming second half basketball, and Cam, I think my fatigue showed a lot in the first half. I stumbled over my words one time, and I thought, man, I will never recover from this. But here we are, and we are carrying on. Keep calm and carry on, as that one British poster said. So that very loud buzzer has sounded to indicate it's time for second half basketball. And Waverly will begin with possession. So Hickman looking to pick up right where they left off on defense. Pass up top, Hickman. Definitely not letting off the gas pedal here defensively, playing very strong, very tight. Pass over to the right wing.
Yeah, Josh, that's how you take control of this game, is the energy and effort on the defensive end coming out of the half. We've talked about they've struggled in third quarters. Now, coming out with this much energy, it's looking good.
And the three-pointer doesn't fall. Tough rebound there by Floyd. Quickly passing it down the right side of the floor. It's Gordon. On the baseline. Looking for help and finds Chilton. Now to Floyd, pulls up from three, good! Ava Floyd starting off this second half strong as she nails her second three-pointer of the game.
Yeah, Josh, and in the first half, she definitely did not shoot her best, but hopefully that is a sign of things to come in this game.
Oh, for sure, and Hickman County leads 28-17 right now. Back to an 11-point lead. 7 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Pass underneath. Nice snag there by Damesworth, and she puts it up and in. That was a tough bucket there by Waverly. Props to them.
Yeah, great job. Decent job of being in help side there, but you have to crash to the pass, not necessarily be proactive, not reactive.
Floyd over to Chilton. Chilton pulled up a deep three. No good. Kicks off the back half of the rim. Oh, almost a tremendous Herculean save by Chloe Warren, but her foot hits the line. Waverly ball, and I don't think the student section liked that one very much, Cam, but it looked like from here her foot did hit the line, and you hate to see that.
Yeah, Josh, but honestly, I love that take there by Chilton to get aggressive early in this half.
Well, and some big threes can be absolute backbreakers to opposing teams, right? I mean, we've seen it happen so many times in the past, and A nice defensive play there by the Lady Dogs to knock it out of bounds to force Waverly to reset and inbound it yet again. Pass over to the left wing. Back up top. Warren there on defense. She'll drive in mid-range. That was a bullet of a shot. No good. Rebounded by Chilton. And she's dribbling it in a hurry. Nice pass to Floyd. Floyd puts it up and in.
Josh, and we have seen Chilton tonight 3 or 4 times go coast to coast, right? And it has been effective every time she has done it. It forces it makes them weary of another ball handler, right? But on top of that, they're expecting her to set up, give it to the point guard, let them get down the floor, let them set up the offense. She's not allowing the defense to get set up, catching them off guard. It's a great job. I would love to see more of that.
Well, and Cam, of course, Zoe, not known for her speed, of course, a history of knee injuries, but she was moving down the court right there, Cam. Now Gordon, nice pass to King, out to Chilton. She tries again from 3, no good, but Floyd there with a nice hustle rebound. Now Gordon, over to Zoe, up that left wing, between the wing and the corner, gives back to Floyd up top, back out to Chilton. Quick pass to King, King to Warren, Warren to Floyd, Floyd pulls up, no good, rebounded by Waverly, and Warren tries to force the jump ball, but backs off when she realized she almost caused a foul there. So very heads-up play by Chloe Warren. And the Dogs in pursuit. Damesworth bringing it up the floor for Waverly, looking for help. Drives in. Oh, and a lot of defense there. And they'll call it jump ball.
Hey, when in doubt, jump ball.
Now, that was almost a phenomenal takeaway there by Chilton, of course. Just as good to force a jump ball, especially when the possession arrow is pointing your direction. So.
Yeah, Josh, you're completely right. And, Josh, we saw last possession. I want to see it again this possession. Good passing leads to good shots. Although they might not have made a shot last possession, it was a great look.
Well, a tough drive by Floyd, no good, but nice job there by King to pick it up. They swing it back out to Chilton. Chilton wants to drive in, passes it out, tipped up off of Gordon's hands. And the officials say the last woman to make contact was a Waverly player, so Hickman County will maintain possession. Out to King. King back to Gordon, that left wing. Now Floyd from the right corner knocks down the 3.
Great inbounds play there by Coach Gordon. Great call. Now, what they did there was you have 3 defenders up top, and then you had a screen down here in the bottom. There's only 1 girl to guard 2 girls down there. If you pass it out, have Delaney King set that screen and Ava Floyd pop out from throwing the ball in. Great job there by Coach Gordon.
When a mid-range shot there, no good by Waverly, but there is a foul. The Tigers will go to the free throw line. Your score, 33-19. Lady Dogs in the lead. 4:16 to go in the third quarter. So that is a made free throw there on attempt number 1. And Ava Floyd checking out. Nola Bentley checking in. And free throw number 2 goes in for Waverly. 33-21 your score. And Cam, frankly, it's impressive that Ava gets subbed out as little as she does. I mean, she plays at a high motor. She hasn't played anything less than 100%.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. With a 3 from Nola Bentley in the corner.
No
miss.
Good, but King a tough rebound. And it's ripped away on the baseline. Possession Hickman County. And Cam, we haven't seen just a whole lot from Delaney here tonight, but that physicality there certainly points in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh, and I want to see her do that again and again and again. It's the same play drawn up by Coach Gordon. Corner, great take,
That's
though.
a tough miss, but a nice rebound by Warren. He gives it over to Chilton. Chilton puts it up. No good. It's a mad scrap for the ball. And Gordon pulls up from deep. No good. Cam, it looks like Haley might have rushed herself a little bit. She had no one within a mile of her. I think she's got a little too excited. Shot no good. Rebounded by Waverly. Ball now in the right corner. Dished underneath. Puts it up. No good. Too strong. Chilton with a nice rebound as she rips it away and secures possession. Pass down the floor. Oh, heads up. I wonder if Zoe Chilton has a grudge against someone on that bench, Cam. That ball went flying over there. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, she slung that thing, Josh.
But with those aggressive passes, I mean, you're going to slip up on a few of them. It won't be perfect every time, so I like them willing to push it down the floor like that. And Ava Floyd will be checking in for Chilton.
Yeah, and when you are playing an opponent that plays in a zone, they have to take at least a few seconds to get set up into that zone. So it's very important to push the ball and not allow them to get set up, because when they get set up, it's going to be tougher.
So Floyd playing tough defense. Pass to the right wing. Oh, she tries to fit in a pass that's not there. And Floyd gives to Gordon on the breakaway, puts it up and in. Haley Gordon now finds herself with double-digit points. Nice pass there by Waverly. But to kick it back out. Ball at the right wing. Pass underneath Warren there to cut it off. But a little too much contact. And that will draw a foul.
Josh, I do love her jumping in that passing lane, and that's something that I want to see more of throughout the rest of the season for these Lady Dogs. I love the full court trap that they're running right now against Waverly, and Coach Gordon has pulled that out multiple times against teams that aren't elite at ball handling.
Tough floater there, misses by Waverly. Loose ball on the floor, picked up by Delaney King, and Delaney there, Cam, she wanted to secure the ball, but a little too much throwing of the elbows, and that will draw the foul. And I think a lot of that just boils down to frustration. When you have people all over you, touching you, people don't like that, right? So.
Right, Josh. Right there, if I'm King, the best way to get space is to put the ball over your head or down low, as it's a turnover by Waverly, ball don't lie, is putting that thing over your head and like stepping into them to get some room, as we saw Elisha doing a great number of times last night, or getting low, keeping the ball near your hip where they can't really get to it and forcing them away. Is Nola Bentley in the corner. Bang!
A big three there by Nola Bentley. Her second three-pointer of the game. 38-21 your score, 2:20 to go in the third quarter. And King tips it away, puts it up. Oh, and it's no good. But Floyd gets the rebound. Pass, Bentley again from three. No good, but she gets her own rebound. Pass to King. King dribbles, puts it up. No good. And once again, they're scrapping for it, and the officials will signal a jump ball. And Cam, while those shots there didn't go in, I loved the aggression by Hickman County to get those offensive boards right there.
Yeah, Josh, if Delaney takes just a second or two, as it's a touchdown pass.
Oh, and Gordon there cuts it off, unable to secure it. She knocks it out of bounds, but a nice job there by Gordon to prevent any points.
Josh, we said it earlier, they don't have Elisha Puckett. They can't be throwing those.
But one has to admire the effort, though. It takes a lot of power to throw a big basketball from court to court. Corner three, no good. Nice box out by Nola Bentley to secure that rebound. Everett pushes up the floor. Floyd, nice pass. Gordon for two. No good. Rebounded by Waverly, but some nice passing there by the Lady Dogs. Pass now up the left side of the floor. Waverly drives in along the baseline. Tough pass underneath. The shot is up, no good. And they will get Ava Floyd on a foul. And that will send Waverly to the free throw stripe as they look to cut into this 17-point deficit. Free throw number one is up. Rattles around, no good. Now, Cam, although she just missed that free throw there, Damesworth has been a very strong player for Waverly here tonight. She's been their go-to player in the paint, and she's been pretty effective so far.
Yeah, Josh, and a lot of times she seems to be a secondary ball handler for them, but she has been a real enforcer on, like, when they're pressing and she has somebody that is trying to come up on her and get inside, she's just blowing by them, doing a great job of pushing the ball to the floor for Waverly.
And Bentley pump fakes a three. Gordon, oh, and that hesitation, a little indecision there, will force the walk. So after that second made free throw, the score now 38-22, just under a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Waverly now inbounds. The Bulldogs still playing relentless on defense, and that forces a walk.
Great job there by Nola Kate Bentley, but these Hickman County defenders, Waverly is not good at ball handling at all. Right there, oftentimes leaving the ball out plain for us to have. Take that thing.
And Everett pulls up from the left wing, and the American Sniper knocks down another one. Cam, while that was her first one today, we knew it was about time. It was only a matter of time, I should say, until Carly Everett knocks down her first three, and it's always exciting to watch this young lady pull up from beyond the perimeter.
Yeah, Josh, she's so talented. You know, and you can't say enough about the confidence she plays with, right? Like we saw last night, the spotlight's not too big. The spotlight is not too big for her. She can step up. She can make plays. But even more so, the young lady has been a steady decision maker, right? A lot of times freshmen, when they get into games, they get all nervous. She is such a good decision maker. Now, if she does make a mistake, though, she makes it up with hustle, right? She's one of the players that you love because she's going to make the right play, and when she makes the mistake, she's going to hustle. And you can't ask any more out of somebody.
Yeah, absolutely, Cam. And Waverly there takes a timeout as they try to formulate some offensive strategy to get back in this game, but they do face a pretty large deficit here. Hickman 41, Waverly 22, with just over a minute left in the third quarter.
And Josh, even leading this game by 19, you have to recognize these Lady Dogs are not playing at tip-top shape right now. They can play better, but I do love that they have taken at least initiative to give a ton of effort tonight, to hustle, to dive on the floor. I love that.
On Everett, a nice knock away there, and King picks it up when the ball gets knocked away. And they'll say it was out on Waverly. Ooh, and it seems like a Waverly player grabbing at her face there, of course. A lot of physicality being shown in this game, going both ways. And that's just the nature of the game, right? We're sitting ballet, Cam. And Floyd, a nice pass. Bentley in the corner. Oh, no good. And Cam, that was a good-looking shot there. But as we said earlier, sometimes your biggest enemy on the floor can be the rim.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, you can't stop shooting. Keep letting that thing fly.
And Bentley now at the left wing. Gives the corner. Everett will pull up from three. And again, she knocks it down.
And Josh, that is the fourth or fifth time they have pulled that out-of-bounds play out. And Waverly has not adjusted one time. Keep using it over and over and over.
And Cam, they get Waverly on a 5-second violation. Man, this Lady Dogs defense is not giving up, even being up by the score that they are.
And rightfully so, Josh. If it doesn't matter to the lead, you're out there to play basketball. Go play basketball.
Gordon gives to Everett. Everett dribbles in. Nice pass to King. King to Gordon. Gordon to Floyd, and Floyd from three. No good, but King, nice rebound. Tries to put it up herself, and she is fouled.
Josh, I hope Delaney can knock at least one down from the free throw line right here, just to see a ball go in. I know that she's frustrated lately with her performances, so I hope here she knocks one down, as she does.
That's a big first free throw there by Delaney, because as you said, Cam, sometimes all it takes is seeing that ball go in the hoop, and you can finally start to figure yourself coming back to form. And number two, no good, but rebounded by Everett. So not the worst miss. And Everett pulls up from deep. Oh, no good. And Cam, we call her the American Sniper for a reason.
That was almost that ice, Josh.
I mean, there is no range that is too far, it seems, for Carly Everett. She'll pull up from anywhere on the floor. And if you're a defense, you always have to hold your breath, whether it be right outside the line or whether it's from half court. But that brings us to the end of the third quarter, and at the end of three, your Lady Dogs lead 45-22. 8 minutes to go. We'll be back on WNKX.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's
cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago Tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
And we are underway with fourth quarter basketball as Everett inbounds to Ava Floyd. Everett over to the corner to Gordon. Gordon over to Davis. Davis to Floyd. Floyd tries to drive in off the glass. A tough two for Ava Floyd.
Great job taking that shot there from Floyd, being aggressive enough, recognizing your defender just overplayed you. Let me get by her.
Waverly kicks it back out to the right wing. Now looks in the paint towards that right corner. Tries to dribble in. Mid-range, no good. That's a tough shot, well contested by the Lady Dogs.
Also, I need to shout out the adjustment today as Ava Floyd with a deep pass to Haley Gordon with a bucket. But Josh, I was saying, they have already made an adjustment, right? So they weren't jumping the corner passes earlier. Now the Waverly defense is jumping that first corner pass. So they're just swinging it back around, getting it open on the other wing. Great job.
So the Lady Dogs lead 49-22 after that two-point bucket. Waverly tries to drive in, but the Dog defense is just not letting them. Another ball in the left corner, pass over to the left wing. Back over to the right corner, now to the right wing. Waverly drives in, mid-range, no good. But she gets her own rebound, tries to put it back up, no good. And King this time able to secure the rebound. And Waverly is called for the foul there. And Cam, it seems like Delaney King's making a lot of motion here. I think most of the time she can just get it back out and avoid all that contact. Now, when you're drawing fouls, it's a good thing. We saw earlier it can come back to bite her. So I think that's some risk that you don't really need to take at this juncture. And Floyd was taking herself coast to coast, can't cap off the layup. Rebounded by Waverly.
Great job there by Ava. The big thing when you are a ball handler in any sense, if you're bringing the ball up the floor, make the defense stop you. So many times I see high school kids stop at the three-point line, wait to set up an offense. As there's a foul there, I believe, on Gordon. But when you are on offense, you are pushing the ball up the floor. Go until a defender stops you. If that's all the way at the rim, then let it be all the way at the rim. If it is at half court, let it be at half court. But as someone who's bringing the ball up the floor, take the initiative to see how far you can drive the defense in.
The first free throw attempt by Waverly is no good. Number 2 is up, and this one does fall. So 49-23 now your score. 6 minutes to go. Floyd taking up the floor, slowly but surely. Gives over to Davis. Davis now to Everett. A couple of freshmen on the floor for Hickman County. Oh, tough pass to the corner. Nice hands there by Davis. Dribbles around, she'll drive. Pulls up, no good. Rattles around and falls out.
And Josh, what a wonderful take there by Tinley Davis. The young lady stepping in and taking that one dribble mid-range pull-up. I know it didn't go in, but it was a great look.
Pass underneath, up, no good, falls short, and Gordon gets the rebound. Pass up to Floyd. Floyd stops the free throw line, no good. Oh, and a couple of Tigers come soaring in there to knock it away, to eventually pick it up off the floor. As Waverly now pushing it up the court. Drive into the paint, it's up, no good, but she's fouled.
Yeah, and Josh, Coach Gordon's putting the young girls in now. We're up by 26 right now. I love seeing these young ladies get in with 5 minutes of playing time, right? Oftentimes they can get put in when it's a minute and a half. Having them get a chance to play, 5 minutes of basketball under the big lights is really good for them.
And Waverly misses the second free throw after the first one fell in. Everett over to Hassel. Hassel to Anderson. Anderson gives back to Everett. Everett dribbling it around herself. Up high to the right.
And Josh, we have seen Carly Everett already grow so much in these few games that we've played. Right there early in the season, I don't know that she would have had the notch. As she drives by, takes a left-handed.
Oh, and Bates. Oh, tries to put back, won't fall. Picked up by Waverly. And Cam, I think what speaks volumes about this team is the fact that you can have 5 freshmen on the court and still be very competitive against any team starters. And that deep 3 there by Waverly is no good, but they do get the rebound. Damesworth drives. And it's up and in, and she'll go to the line for an and one. And Davis was there. Looked like pretty good defense, but a little too much contact there as she drives in. And Damesworth has been very hard to stop for the majority of the time she has driven in tonight.
Yeah, she's got a good, solid first step, and when she drives to her right, she's very quick on it and uses her body well to get inside the defenders and bounce off.
And her free throw is good, so she completes the 3-point play. And a wild pass in by Everett, saved by Hassel, but Waverly will pick it up. Now Waverly from 3 knocks down a 3. So that cuts it down to 19, 49-30, your score. Lady Dogs lead, 4 minutes to go. Davis brings up the floor, and she walks.
And there you see something that comes with experience and age, right, is she needs to notice that there's 2 defenders diving in on me, so before they even get to me, let me change direction so only one of them can pick me up.
They try to find someone in the paint there, but it goes off the arm of a Lady Bulldog, and Waverly will inbound from the baseline. In the paint, puts it up, too strong. Loose ball on the floor. Waverly does pick it up. And look at Bates playing tough there, trying to force a jump ball. But they do call a foul, I do believe.
Yeah.
They do get Kitty Bates for the foul.
They were draped all over there, Josh. Good call, right call to make, but also great job hustling.
So an and one again here from Waverly, 49-32 now your score. And Cam, it looks like Coach Gordon wasn't really liking what he was seeing. Of course, it's good to give your ladies the chance, the young freshmen, but I think he wants to just take care of business right here and right now as he sends Floyd, Chilton, Warren, King, and Gordon back into the game.
Yeah, Josh, you can't give the chance to give any life to any team, really. It doesn't matter how big of a lead you have. Basketball is a game that can change quickly.
And the and one is good, so 49-33 now your score. Chilton now at the left wing, dribbles up top, high post, nice spin move, kicks it back out to Warren. Warren to Gordon, Gordon over to Floyd. Floyd dribbles in hard, tries to put it up. No good, it is tipped and out of bounds off of Waverly. Hickman to inbound. Chilton, you're on the baseline. Nice pass to King. King tries to put it up, and she is fouled, and that will send Delaney to the free throw line. And Cam, some more good opportunities here for Delaney to watch a ball fall into the hoop.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen her in this second half be a little more aggressive, especially on the boards on both sides, as she misses the first. But I love the fact that she is getting more aggressive, because that's a sign for later. That shows she's getting a little more confident as she knocks down the second.
So a big made free throw right there as Hickman County breaks 50. 50-33 your score, just over 3 minutes to go. Waverly at the right wing passes into the paint. Floyd playing tough defense, a putback, no good. The ball gets away, picked up. A lot of contact going both ways there, but they do get Hickman County on the shooting foul, and that will send Damesworth to the line.
Yeah, Josh, and that's one of those that we talked about it earlier, not being reactive. We need to be proactive, getting in position early, right? We were out of position to get good box outs, and that resulted in them getting second chance opportunities.
So a timeout is called here as Coach Gordon wants to talk things over with his girls here, and I don't know, Cam, even though that this game is probably too out of reach right now for Waverly to come back. I mean, any competitive head coach will see the mistakes that are being made, and it's going to bother them, because they know that if they make these mistakes against a team like Marshall County, they'll get murdered. right? They'll be killed. And I think it's good that he's talking over, he's taking this very seriously, and he wants a lot of fire under his girls to say, I mean, what are we doing? You know, why are we on our heels? Let's play aggressive. Let's find that killer instinct that we had just a few minutes ago. Right?
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. When you are coaching, when you're in a situation where you are the head of a team, as Coach Gordon is, you have got to keep them locked in the entire game, because any moment that you have where they are not at, peak attention to detail, they are not giving full effort, then that's an opportunity for that to continue, right? And habits are so easily formed, and they're so hard to break, right? And if you now have a habit of not being full effort, full energy, then it can spiral and out of control. He doesn't need that.
So Floyd now a fast break, drives into the paint, goes up for a layup, no good, and she is fouled. So after the layup attempts, 50-34 your score, 3:01 to go, and Floyd now at the free throw stripe. A chance to add on to an already impressive evening, and she'll do just that as she sinks free throw number 1. And number 2 is up, it rattles around and goes out. And Waverly picks up the rebound. They drive. Lob pass in the paint, but too many Bulldog bodies there to knock that pass away.
Yeah, and one critique I have is Chloe Warren jumping from the backside right there. That is such an easy foul to get called on you. The girl on the front side needs to jump. The girl on the back side needs to be there for if the girl comes down with it, right? And so I would rather see her sit down and wait for that girl to catch the ball so that she can be there for defense after she gets possession, possibly.
Now, Cam, it's rare that we see 1 5-second violation in a game. Hickman County has forced 2 already tonight, so that's just, man, all credit in the world to this Lady Dog defense here tonight. And Floyd, nice little cross move right there. She drives in, kicks over to Warren, Warren to Gordon.
And Josh, how many times do we say we want to see that move more? That is a wonderful crossover that Ava Floyd has.
Chilton gives back out to Floyd at the high post, dribbles back out beyond the perimeter. She wants to drive in, but has it stolen away by Waverly. And the Tigers on the drive. Pass out, pulls up from 3. No good off the rim, but it's rebounded by the Tigers. The putback is no good. And it's picked up by Floyd. She's on the breakaway. One girl to beat. Oh, and she puts it up and in as she takes a tumble.
Yeah, great. First off, great job by the Waverly defender to just stay still and make her make the move. And a great finish by Ava Floyd, masterfully getting that thing in there.
Well, Floyd rips it away and forces a jump ball. And Ava Floyd, Cam, my word, from the first quarter to the fourth, she does not let off the gas. You can never accuse Ava of never giving 100%. I mean, she is so fun to watch, and she gets subbed out right now. The only time she does slow down is when Coach Gordon says, hey, come take a seat for just a few minutes, as Nola Bentley checks back in for her.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. And you love watching players that love the game, and you can see that she loves the game. That is what she lives for, especially the chance to get on this court, Josh, and you love seeing that.
Waverly at the right wing, Gordon there playing defense, pass now underneath, Chilton there to meet her. Mid-range shot is up, no good, too strong. A lot of contact there. Waiting for the official ruling. That really could have gone either way there. Both parties initiating a lot of contact. And they'll get Haley Gordon for it. So we are now just under 90 seconds left to play here at J.E. Cisco. Hickman leads 53-34 as Waverly now at the free throw line. Free throw number 1 is up, and it's no good.
Josh, I will say this. What has been a result of us being up by 19, having a big lead at multiple times in this game as that young lady knocks down her second free throw to make it an 18-point game, is doing the right, not only the hustle plays, but knowing where to be on defense. That has shown to be the result, because as Chloe Warren drives by, it's that first step, Josh. If she would just use it all the time, it's unstoppable.
And as you just said, Cam, it does seem almost unguardable, and she is deceptively quick on offense. And Waverly now playing with a sense of urgency, trying to make this look close. And a bank shot 3 is good by the Tigers. So we're now under a minute left to play, 55-38. The shot no good for the Lady Dogs. And Warren still getting physical even with 45 seconds left to play, up big. And that's the kind of hustle that Coach Gordon probably loves to see.
Yeah, and Josh, again, I say this, the young ladies, or in any basketball game, no matter how big the lead, in my opinion, and I know it's not gospel, but in my opinion, if you are on the basketball floor, it is your right to play basketball at 100% effort, right? And so I don't mind that foul. I like that foul. That shows that she cares to the very last second.
And Chilton goes up for the rebound, and she is fouled. So 55-39, your score here. The Dogs lead by 16 points. Chilton inbounds to Warren, 40 seconds left in the game. Warren quickly down the floor. Now she'll stop and set up as she tries to dribble this ball out. I expect to see a lot of passes here by the Lady Dogs, now under 30 seconds. Chilton hands off to Bentley at the logo. Bentley back to Chilton, and it's knocked away by Waverly. And she's on the drive. And a foul is called on Chloe Warren, and that will send Waverly to the free throw line with 17.3 seconds to go.
Yeah, and right there, Josh, Zoe Chilton has to understand my defender's going for a steal. I have to keep it above her head and away from her. We're talking like put it near your face, constantly move it around, and when you take a dribble, get down low and take a long first step.
And the end one is good by Waverly, making it 55-42. And the Lady Dogs quickly fouled here as Waverly just tries to stop the clock to give themselves a chance here. And Chloe Warren, the one who was fouled, she'll be the one going to the stripe. Number one is up, and it falls for Chloe. Number two is up, and number two also goes in. So she widens it 57-42. 12 seconds. In the paint, and it's a turnover. Chilton picks up the ball, and she'll just hold on to it. And that will bring us to the end of the game. And a very impressive performance by the Hickman County Lady Dogs to not dwell too much on the loss last night, but to come out on the floor tonight, back here in J.E. Cisco, to take care of business and to defeat the Waverly Tigers by a final score of 57-42. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have a word from Coach Gavin Gordon and his hand-picked player of the game during halftime of the boys game. And folks, if you enjoyed that first game, I have good news. We have a whole nother game on the way for you here tonight as the Hickman County boys play host to the Waverly boys team. But we're going to take a short break before that happens. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on WNKX. Welcome back to WNKX Live. If you're just now joining us, Cam, they missed a good one. We got to see our Hickman County Lady Dogs take down the Lady Tigers of Waverly by a score of 57-42. But Cam, the job's not done here tonight for Hickman County. Still got one more game to get through. The boys looking to build off the momentum last night. Now, Cam, I don't know about you, but I'm still on cloud 9 after the game yesterday, and I know Coach Dawson and the guys are too.
Yeah, Josh, as he talked about, they celebrated big last night, but look, it's just like the girls' game. We talked about it. If you play down to their level, if you look down on your opponent, they might just end up meeting you eye to eye. And so you cannot allow yourself to come into this like, oh, this game's going to be easier, this game's less important. They have to come out guns a-blazing, playing the best defense they've ever played. Listen, we can get rid of this team in the first half. And I use get rid of because that's how I feel about it. Like, we can run away with this and it not be a basketball game after, 16 minutes of basketball? However long a quarter is. So, in this game, we talk about it time and time again, everything starting on the defensive end. I'm going to echo myself. We have got to play defense, right? The quickest way to keep somebody out of a game is to play defense, turn them over. And looking at this Waverly team, they don't look like they have the athletes that we do. They might be sneaky, but they don't look like they have the athletes we do. We love to get out and run. I want to see that tonight. We need to be in transition from the tip-off to the buzzer sounding at the end of the fourth quarter.
Oh, I agree, Cam. And I think a lot of people would refer to a game like this as sort of a trap game, right? I mean, when you're riding high off the momentum or of a win you had the night before, right? I mean, the normal person would think, well, shouldn't you be better the next night because you're feeling good? Sometimes, yes, but sometimes you can still be caught up on what happened yesterday, right? We give a lot of credit to previous losses being what can drag a team down the next game, but wins can have the same effect, right? If you let your head get too big, if you get too caught up on one particular night that you forget about this night altogether, it can spell trouble. But I'm looking at the stat sheet that we had from last night, Hickman County's 69-58 victory over Marshall County, and to no one's surprise, Cam, the game's leading scorer was Elisha Puckett. He had 25 points, and not only did he have 25 points, he also had the play of the game. And what we can't only attribute that to Elisha, a lot of credit to Will McDonald, who gave Elisha that lob on the alley-oop that we saw last night that sent this place into chaos. I have not heard it so loud in here in some time, Cam.
And not only that, it was the steal that led to the pass, to Will that got the lob to Elisha, right? There was 4 really, really good things done, 4 really small things that led to something big at the end, right? And so many times, especially in team sports, especially for this team, if you do the little things right, the sky's the limit, Josh. The sky is the limit, and these young men are exciting to watch. And tonight, I hope that they can replicate that again.
And what I love, Cam, about our conversation that we had with Coach Dawson last night is that he gave credit to everybody, right? He didn't single out favorites. He didn't say we won because of this one person. I mean, he went down the list. He said Elisha played great, Will played great, Charlie played great, Dylan Qualls played great, and especially Tyler McKinnon, Cam. I mean, he might have had 9 points on the stat sheet, which doesn't look as good compared to Elisha's 25, but when you think about the impact that Tyler McKinnon had last night, playing smart basketball, playing physical basketball, he was one of the MVPs of the night.
Josh, we're talking an easy double-digit rebound night for Tyler McKinnon. And let's be honest, looking at these Waverly Tigers, I can see that coming again, right? He can have a huge night. I want to see him replicate what he did.
Absolutely, Cam. And they're introducing the starting lineup for the Hickman County Bulldogs right now. They start with number 4, Will McDonald. Then number 11, Dylan Qualls, followed by number 12, Elisha Puckett. And there he is, the man we were just talking about, the 6'6" monster in the paint, Tyler McKinnon. And last, number 44, Charlie Blystad. And Cam, this is the same starting 5 we saw last night. Coach Dawson knows who his starting guys are, and he wants to lean on them, and rightly so. These are 5 talented young men that have all impacted this team in different ways.
Yeah, and they got to come out and they got to play their game right here. Play within yourself. That's a big part of playing a team that might not be as talented. If you will, to not play down to their level, you have to play within yourself. You have to know your game. Don't do any extra antics. Don't try to do anything fancier because you don't think they're as talented. Play the game that you know how to play, because that game for these Bulldogs is a very good game.
And we are just now about to have tip-off here in J.E. Cisco. Once again, I'm Josh Copley, joined alongside Cameron Peters, and Qualls meets Burns. And Burns wins it as he tips it back to Wagoner.
And Josh, we immediately see these Bulldogs getting a 2-3 zone that we saw last night. This is the zone that really made Marshall County struggle, so I'm excited to see it again.
A tough pass there. Waverly loses handle of it. Blystad picks it up and gives to Elisha. Now to the corner. Will McDonald pump fakes, dribbles in. Mid-range 2. No good, off the mark. Rebounded by Wagoner.
And Josh, I don't want that air ball to discourage Will by any means. He was a huge part in last night's win. I want to see him continue to do that. Continue to shoot. Don't lose confidence.
Burns pump fakes, dribbles in, hands off to Dilly. Dilly finds Burns. Burns dribbles in, pumps. Hands it back over to Ralston.
And
Ralston
Josh,
now to Ramsey.
Josh, this 2-3 zone caused a lot of turnovers right now, but in all honesty, they're just playing solid defense right now, not trying to cause a lot of turnovers, and here we see an opportunity for one.
Ralston gives to Burns. Burns from the corner, and he knocks down an early 3 for Waverly. 3-0 your score, just under 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. Now Elisha gives over to Qualls. Qualls on a Blystad, touch pass to McKinnon. Oh, and hands to Puckett, and that was a great pass, and that really just shows the chemistry between these 2 young men, Cam.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. These guys are so well gelled right now, playing as a unit, and it's good to see.
And Qualls strips it away, but Ralston able to corral it and feeds it over to Dilly. Dilly drives in, gives to Burns in the corner. Guarded by Blystad, gives to Wagoner in the paint. Oh, a tough pass there, and it's knocked away. Now they're on a breakaway. McDonald one-on-one with Burns, puts it up. Nice reverse layup, and it goes in.
Great job there by McDonald, using his body, keeping the ball to the inside hand, using the right hand on the left-hand side. Great job there.
Dilly drives in, passes to Ramsey. Ramsey puts it up. The shot is called off due to a jump ball, and the possession arrow points towards Hickman.
Josh, when in doubt, what do? Jump ball.
I'm glad we have some overlaying themes between the girls' game and this game. It makes our jobs a lot easier. So Qualls and Puckett now coming up the floor. Elisha, the present ball handler. Pass to Qualls, just outside the perimeter. Gives out to Blystad. Blystad pulls up from 3, and he knocks it down.
Yeah, and a great job there by Charlie. Oftentimes, when there's a defensive mistake and then all of a sudden you become open and you don't expect to be, it's hard to have that preparation to go ahead and shoot. Great job there by Charlie, taking his time.
And pulls up from deep, does Dilly. No good off the rim. Burns gets the rebound, gives to Wagoner, tries to put it up, and he does. 7-5 now your score. Hickman in the lead. 5 minutes left in the first. Elisha dribbles back, hands over to Qualls. Qualls passes underneath to McKinnon. Tough pass to Blystad. It almost gets it ripped away, but wisely dribbles back out. And Elisha pulls up from 3. Oh, no good. A rare miss there from Elisha Puckett.
Yeah, and a great take and a great read there by Elisha. One thing that Coach Dawson mentioned last night, and we cannot mention enough, is the intelligence that Elisha plays with. You just have to love that.
Well, Waverly. Wagoner mid-range, McKinnon in his face, no good, well off the mark, and Elisha picks it up. They have the numbers. McDonald lobs it to Elisha, and he throws it down!
Absolutely back-to-back nice shots!
2 days, 2 alley-oops for these Hickman County Bulldogs.
Well, I mean, that McDonald-Puckett connection is this, my goodness.
Cam, we've seen a lot of great duos from Shaq and Kobe, Jordan and Pippen, but Puckett and McDonald have been on fire these last few games. Now Waverly looks to answer back with a 3, and Burns And that's a big-time three-pointer there by Waverly to try to silence that crowd a little bit after they got all fired up for that alley-oop.
Yeah, that's a momentum stopper, honestly. There, the young man Burns, I believe is his name. Great job. Yes, sir, Malachi Burns. I mean, kid looks like a tough guard tonight, Josh.
McKinnon hands off to Puckett. Puckett being guarded. Oh, a nice floater, and it falls in. And Cam, it seems like it doesn't matter if there's 3 guys on Elisha, 1 or 70. If he goes up in the air, that floater's probably falling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
when he
Dilly's
gets to that
corner.
mid-range, it's dangerous.
And Ramsey pulls up, and another big 3 by Waverly, and that will give us a tie ball game, 11-11, with 3:20 to go in the first quarter.
And Josh, a 2-3 zone is primarily meant to make the team shoot the ball. They're shooting so well. I'm waiting to see an adjustment from Coach Dawson as Dylan Qualls knocks down a mid-range shot.
That was a beautiful jump shot there by Dylan Qualls. Now Waverly looking up the ante. They drive in. Dilly puts it up and in. That seemed a little too easy right there, Cam.
Yeah, Josh, and again, part of that I think could be this zone right now. You know, playing a zone, oftentimes you can catch yourself getting a little lackadaisical because there is more help there for you, but there has to be a higher rate of energy here.
Elisha gets the tough board, tries to put it back, and it's no good, but Elisha's fouled, and that will send number 12 to the free throw line to shoot a couple. And Cam, it looks to me that Kylan Seal and Braden Brown are preparing to check in for this Hickman County team. 2 guys that have certainly made an impact, and certainly, I mean, they look good in the eyes of Coach Dawson as well. He was giving them a lot of credit yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely, and Tim Puckett's there to check in as well. I'm excited to see what he does on the floor tonight. You know, he didn't get a ton of shots last night, but we saw the Fairview game where he really lit it up. So I'm hoping he can grab some of that magic from the Fairview game and continue it tonight.
So McKinnon, Blystad, and McDonald will be taking a little bit of a reprieve. Elisha going for free throw number 2, and he knocks it down. 15-13 your score. Oh, and a nice defensive play by Braden Brown. Qualls pump fakes, puts it up. No good, but he is fouled, and he will go to the line now. And Cam, we were just talking about him. I mean, we were saying how he has earned his minutes in the eyes of Coach Dawson, and what does he do within 10 seconds of being on the floor? He flies in and makes an incredible defensive play, but not only that, he keeps the ball in bounds and gives it over to Dylan Qualls, who now can go to the free throw line, and he'll knock down the first one.
Josh, you know, I kind of just made this comparison in my mind. How much of a spark plug Carly Everett is for this girls team. Braden Brown is that off the bench for these guys. He comes in with an energy that is unmatched by anyone on the floor every single time. It did not matter who we have played so far. There has been no doubt that Braden Brown was going to give everything he had.
And Qualls knocks down both of his free throws to make the game 17-13. And Kylan Seal, who recently entered the game, is who they will get on the foul. And Kylan Seal, Cam, we know he is known for his aggressiveness. Does that lead to some fouls? Sometimes yes, but it also gives him some tough rebounds. Oh, and its ball is knocked all around the floor by Qualls, and Brown picks it up and gives to Dylan. Corner, Puckett, lobs underneath the Seal. Oh, and he loses handle of it. And Cam, I almost would have liked to have seen Timothy pull up there from the corner.
Yeah, I don't hate the decision to get the ball inside because that makes them think later on in the game that, hey, they're going to look inside and you can get shots like that later. But if Tim's feeling it, as a turnover by Waverly, heading the other way for Hickman County.
And that goes off the hands of Ramsey, and Hickman County will take over.
But like you're saying, a Tim Puckett 3 is never a bad take.
So after the great defensive play by the Dogs, Elisha inbounds to Braden Brown, the sophomore point guard. Brown gives over to Elisha. Elisha back to Brown. Brown gives over to Qualls, tosses underneath. Still in that right corner, Elisha dribbles in on the baseline. Gives up to Qualls, pump fakes, dribbles in. Oh, and gives off to Seal. Seal tries to put it up, no good. A lot of contact and Burns. Eventually the man to come up with it for Waverly. Now Williams drives in, tries to kick it back out, but it's picked up by Qualls. Drives in, oh, a lot of contact. And they initially call a foul, I believe, and they change it to a walk on Qualls.
Josh, I'm not sure where that walk came from. You get a pickup step, you get a first initial step, and then Dylan steps into the guy with his second step. You're allowed to go up from there. Odd call, but nonetheless, it's what he called.
And Qualls knocks it out of bounds, so he's forcing Waverly to inbound it yet again. Passes in, knocked out of bounds on Brown. And Cam, it looked like if Brown just pulls his hand back there, I think the ball might have just hit the baseline on its own there. But of course, too close to tell. I appreciate the effort there anyway by Braden Brown.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. And again, we're saying the name Braden Brown on defense. He's done such a good job.
Wagner up the left side of the floor.
Oh.
And they'll get Hickman County on a foul. And that's Braden Brown, the guilty party.
Josh, it's I'm going to say it every time. It is having your hand on the offensive player's hip and or torso. They are going to call that foul. Was it a foul? Probably shouldn't have been, but they're going to call it when they see that.
Damesworth, a deep three, no good off the back of the rim, but he gets his own rebound to Ramsey. And Ramsey to Burns from the corner, no good, but a tough rebound there by Damesworth. Gives over to Williams. Williams back to Burns, or Damesworth rather, and he is called for the walk.
And Josh, we saw 2 second chance opportunities for Waverly. What did that come from? Not boxing out. We have to box out.
So Hickman brings up the floor, less than a minute to go in the first quarter, 17-13 your score. Elisha guarded by Williams. Gives to Qualls. Tries to ditch to Seal, and it's knocked out of bounds by Waverly.
And Josh, Qualls has got to put up that shot. That is a shot that he makes every single time. That little post hook in the lane, that's an easy bucket. We got to take that.
Puckett inbounds to Qualls. Qualls back out to Timothy Puckett. Now to Elisha. Corner three, well contested. Off the rim, no good. Tough rebound there by Ramsey. Ramsey gives to Williams. Hickman County Cam certainly taking their time getting back on defense. Now 30 seconds to go. Williams the right wing. Dribbles in, pass out to Heaton. Heaton from three, no good. It's a mad scrap for the ball. Waverly comes up with it. It's Burns in the corner.
Josh,
Damesworth over up top. Heaton drives.
That's 4 offensive rebounds in 3 possessions. This cannot happen.
Ramsey at the left wing. Heaton up top. He'll pull up again from 3. No good yet again with 7 seconds. Puckett pushes up the court. Qualls dribbles in. Spin move. Puts it up and good. And the buzzer will sound at the end of the first quarter. And that is exactly how Hickman wanted to end this first quarter, with a Dylan Qualls bucket. And at the end of the first quarter, Hickman leads Waverly 19-13. We'll be right back here on WNKX.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge. It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago Tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
And welcome back. We are about to start second quarter of action here on WNKX. Whether you're tuning in through YouTube or Facebook, we appreciate your viewership and your support of the station. We hope to bring you these games every single time the Bulldogs take the court. And Waverly will start off with possession. They currently trail by 6. They'll inbound it to Burns. And he's met by Qualls as he crosses the line. Burns drives in, he pumps and keeps it. Now gives to Damesworth. He'll dribble in. And over to Ralston. Ralston back out to Damesworth. With tough pass and catch by Heaton. Mid-range shot falls. A little fadeaway there. Impressive shot there by Waverly.
He has a good pass, or a good entry pass there by that young man to get the ball to him from an up top angle. That was a difficult pass to make.
Brown looking, finds Qualls underneath. Gives back out to McKinnon. Now over to Tim Puckett. Looking, and he finds Will McDonald. Now over to Brown. Brown to the corner to Qualls. Qualls will pull up from 3, and he sinks it. A rare sight to see, Cam, a Dylan Qualls three-pointer. And they do get Tyler McKinnon there on the foul.
Yeah, great shot there. Great shot there by Qualls, stepping up and making that shot. Not a lot of movement there on offense. Would have loved to see him, get something going to make that zone uncomfortable. Deep three from Waverly.
Pulls up from way downtown. A bit of a line drive there. No good off the front of the rim. Rebounded by the Dogs. Qualls drives it. Quick pass to Brown. Brown to McDonald. McDonald from 3. No good off the rim. Rebounded by Wagner of Waverly. And Burns up the floor around Qualls. Spin move in the paint. Puts it up left-handed. It's good. And Cam, this young man Burns, very talented young man indeed.
Yeah, definitely, Josh. He's going to be a tough one to guard all night, and a name that we're probably going to say a lot.
So Qualls at the right wing now with the ball. Gives back up top to McDonald. Now over to Braden Brown. Brown gives to McKinnon up top, back out to Puckett. Timothy, that is, the right wing. Gives to Qualls. Back out to Brown, dribbles in. Dribbles back out. Over to Qualls. Drives in, step up, and good. A tough 2 for Dylan Qualls.
Yeah, great job finishing through contact there by Qualls. The Hickman County offense right now is looking slow, but pretty decisive. So, that's not really their usual play style, but hey, if it's working, don't worry about it.
The Bulldogs lead by 7. On Damesworth, pump fakes a 3 from the left corner, now at the left wing, gives over to Heaton. Heaton drives into the paint. Gives back out to Burns, pump fake, over to Damesworth, another pump fake, and he'll drive in, spin move. No good, too short. And McKinnon picks up the loose ball. Oh, and Brown is shoved in the back by Ralston.
And Josh, that's a little thing right there that's not always noticed, but Brown knew that there would be a defender trying to come from behind him to make a steal. He knew that he was going to come hard at him, so Brown just didn't even move when he got that pass. To have the presence of mind and to only be a sophomore to do that, speaks volumes to how much he has studied the game and has paid attention to detail.
Now Blystead, who's now in the game, finds McKinnon in the paint, goes over and can't find it off the glass, and he will be fouled.
The foul is on him.
The foul is on McKinnon, rather. My mistake.
That is crazy.
I should make it known that Qualls, Tim Puckett, and Braden Brown, all 3 subbed out for Elisha Puckett, Brody Worley, and Charlie Blystead. Now Kylan Seal enters the game for Tyler McKinnon. And the whistle blows, and they get yet another Bulldog for another foul.
And Worley has to know you've got to keep your hands off of him, beat him to the spot, right? If he's driving it up the sideline, beat him to the sideline.
A nice play there by Seal to knock the ball out of bounds. That can be very frustrating for an offense, not able to get the ball in. But they finally do to Brooks. Brooks on Blystead, pulls up. Bounce pass into Ramsey, spin move. Elisha playing tough defense, forces him to feed it back outside the perimeter to Brooks. Brooks back under to Ramsey. Spin move, wants to put it up, and does. That was a nice little move there by Ramsey. It takes a lot to get around Elisha Puckett. Now Elisha quickly moving it down the floor, and they get number 12 with the walk. Yeah, 24-19 your score in favor of Hickman.
Very impressive move on this end from Waverly. That young man with a great job. Also, though, great job by Elisha staying disciplined enough not to foul.
Now Brooks on a break. Blystead there to stop him. Pass under to Burns. McDonald playing tough defense. But he fouls Burns, and the 2-point layup is good. And 1 incoming for Waverly.
Josh, these Waverly Tigers are knocking on that door. If this young man knocks one down here, that'll make it a 2-point game. Hickman County's got to get something going on offenses. He does knock down that shot.
24-22 your score. 4:32 to go, and Coach Dawson forced to take a timeout here to talk things over with his offense. And Cam, What do you think's been the Bulldogs' biggest struggle so far in this contest?
On offense, they don't seem to be – it's not a decisiveness problem. It's just kind of driving to the basket without a plan, not reading the defense when they drop to you. Like, it's more of the little details that, like, last night were insanely sharp, right? They're driving in and they see a defender step up. They know, hey, I'm going to have a teammate open when somebody jabs at me, and then getting that pass out to the perimeter, and then that guy deciding quickly, do I take this shot or do I pass it on? That's something I think that has been a bit of a struggle. Is the passing has been not as urgent and precise and timely, right? And timely, efficient passing is what they look for, is what you need to look for in an offense. And so getting the ball moving here, I think, is going to be big for them.
Elisha brings up the floor, finds Worley, now over to Blystad. Blystad back to McDonald. McDonald to Seal back to Puckett, step back. Fakes a three, goes to Worley in the corner. Worley drives in, back to Blystad, and he hands back off to Elisha. Elisha looks to drive, passes out to Worley. Oh, and he loses a handle of it. And Waverly now takes over. And Cam, Waverly has been so far taking advantage of the mistakes of Hickman. Mid-range shot there by Burns, no good, rebounded by Heaton. Back out to Brooks. Brooks to Wagoner on Blystad. And they get Blystad for the blocking foul, and that will send number 33 to the line for the Waverly Tigers.
And Josh, right there, they called that a block because, you know, I will say it was probably a bit of a flop. There wasn't an immense amount of contact. If I'm Charlie, I have to step in. No easy buckets, right? And I get that he didn't make that shot, but that's something that and one can easily come from that as he knocks down the first.
So the first free throw makes it a 1-point game. Waverly with a chance to tie here. No good. Rebounded by Blystad, so makes up for that foul there by getting a tough rebound. And Puckett brings up the floor quickly. Back to Blystad. Over to Worley at the left wing. Gives to Elisha. Step back to Worley. Open look, pulls up from three. A high arcing three. And it falls in for Hickman County. That was a big three there by Brody Worley, but Waverly wasting no time trying to get some more offense. Wagoner underneath, puts it up with Seal guarding him, and it's good.
And Josh, I think another thing that I should have mentioned earlier, they need to be more proactive right there. Kylan Seal was not in a great position to play defense till after he had already gotten the ball.
And a mid-range shot there by Elisha Puckett. I could have just held my hands over my eyes and knew it went in and could have just called it as such. He's so impressive. So 29-25, Wagoner again driving in. And Cam, this young man from Waverly is giving Kylan Seal fits right now underneath.
Yeah, and again, I just said it. It is the proactiveness, right? It's easy. I get you played a long, hard game last night, but you have to be so locked in that you're ready before it even happens.
And Worley feeling good, puts up another three. Oh, it rolls around, no good. And Ramsey with the rebound, gets it back out to Wagoner, who secures it and hands off to Brooks. 2.5 to go in the first half. Brooks pulls up just inside the three-point line, no good. Rebounded by Elisha. Waiting to see who the foul's against. They do get Waverly, number 2, Corbin Ramsey. And Dylan Qualls back into the game after some much-needed rest for Will McDonald.
Josh, these last 2.5 minutes of this half, I want to see us stretch out this lead, whether that is from Elisha Puckett's hand, whether it's that from our ball movement. I need to see some form of points being scored here.
And Elisha looking to drive on the baseline of swinging out to that left corner is fouled.
And Josh,
on the floor.
I will say this. These Bulldogs have got to create their own energy tonight. The crowd is not as into it as they were last night. The student section is all sitting down right now. You know, so they're playing where they have to create their own energy, and they have to recognize that. They're a little flat right now, let's be honest, and they've been flat this whole game. Thankfully, they're talented enough that they can hang in there, but there has to be a commitment to, like, the girls' game. They took care of business because they were diving on the floor and everything, and we saw that some in the first quarter, but this second quarter, we haven't seen a ton of it.
I agree, Cam, and I think manufacturing that energy will be the make or break in this game, right? Waverly, I haven't seen anything from them this year, personally, but from what I've seen tonight, they are an immensely talented team with a lot of good playmakers, and I think if Hickman County doesn't up the ante here soon, they could find themselves falling behind quickly. And Elisha will inbound it on the baseline quickly to Seal, who puts it up and in, and an easy two for Hickman County as Seal gets his first bucket of the game. 31-27 your score, 2 minutes to go in the half. Hickman leads. Brooks now looking for help, looking for Ralston and Qualls. Okay, do they get Dylan Qualls or Elisha Puckett there on that foul?
It was Elisha Puckett. Thankfully, it is his first, but they got it for the ref's telling him right now, you were reaching around the back of him. That's why I called it. To me, it was pretty clean. It shouldn't have been a foul call, but I'm also not him, so I don't have a whistle.
And the first free throw by Ralston is no good off the glass. Number 2 on the way, it's up, and this one does fall. So a 3-point game now, 31-28, Hickman County having the ball brought up by Dylan Qualls. Qualls gives to Blysted, now to Puckett. Gives back to Charlie. He'll pull up from 3. No good. Oh, and a tough play there by Qualls. Oh, and that was a bang-bang play. There could have gone either way. They'll say it went out on Qualls. Waverly basketball.
Josh,
over a minute and a half to go in the first half.
I absolutely love that take, though, by Charlie. He's shot decently well in this game. I believe he's at least knocked down 1 3, and the other one looked good that he shot. So I would love to see him continue to be that aggressive.
Now Brooks with the ball, guarded by Blystad. Dribbles around to the right, hands off to Burns. Burns wants to drive in. Blystad not letting him. He forces him to give out to Wagner. Wagner, now to Heeden. Worley playing some tough defense. Qualls on Ralston. Oh, and Elisha slams it away from him. Now it does go out of bounds on Puckett, but Cam, it's blocks like that that can really fire up a team as well.
Yeah, but we didn't see a huge reaction from the Bulldogs. It's just like they've hit a plateau right now. They're kind of stagnant on defense, and they're not firing all cylinders right now. I want to see them pick up something, Josh. I don't know what end of the floor needs to happen on it. There needs to be an energy.
Wagner on Seal, puts it up and in. 1-point game, under a minute now to play.
And let's be honest, Wagner's eating Seal alive right now. And if you're Kylan Seal, don't let him do that. Make it a priority to not let him do that. Forget about offense. Go play your game on defense.
And Elisha mid-range and 1.
And Josh, where did he shoot that from? Mid-range. That is his spot. And that's the thing about Elisha is he didn't see a couple go in from deep, but he knows his spots, right? That's something of a great scorer that you see a lot is, like, for example, Kevin Durant. He knows his spots, right? Elisha Puckett knows his spots where he can get a bucket at any time.
And Elisha caps off the 3-point play, makes the free throw, and Dylan Qualls will foul Ralston. And, of course, giving the number of fouls, that will send Waverly to the line, even though it wasn't a quote-unquote shooting foul. Ralston, last time he was at the line, made 1 of 2. Hickman up 4 now, 34-30, 31 seconds to play. And number 1 is up and no good off the rim.
And Josh, one thing we can't allow here is a second chance opportunity off this free throw. We have got to box out and push it up to the other end.
Well, thankfully, Cam, that's not necessary as the free throw does go in, and Hickman County will be able to inbound from the baseline. And some substitutions now as Ralston comes out for Waverly and Jamesworth is back in. So Elisha up the left side of the floor, taking his time, 25 seconds. He wants to drive now. Oh, and he wants to slam it down, couldn't, but Blysted gets the rebound and the putback. So 36-31, 15 seconds. Hickman County not giving Waverly any room to breathe. Brooks with the ball, wants to drive in, kicks it back out to Damesworth. Pump fakes, dribbles. And Quall's there to meet him. And he pulls up from way deep and no good. An air ball with 1 second, Cam. I mean, a quick pass and a Hail Mary shot here. I mean, Hickman County might have a chance to get some big points. Or they might sit on it. And they'll do just that as Worley will inbound to Blystad. And at the end of the first half, Hickman County leads 36-31. One more half left to play. We're going to take a quick break here on WNKX, and when we come back, we'll have a quick word from Coach Gordon, and we'll also get to talk to his hand-selected player of the game, Haley Gordon. Don't go anywhere.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? It's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge. It's cutting the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago Tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WNKX halftime show. We are joined right now by the head coach of the Lady Dogs, Coach Gavin Gordon. And Coach Gordon, first of all, I want to congratulate you on a big bounce-back win after the loss last night to Marshall County. I'm sure this felt good for you and the girls. But the first question I want to ask you mainly comes from the first half of play. We saw the Lady Dogs get into a lot of foul trouble. What do you think was the cause for that?
I think we were dead legged and we were trying to be aggressive. I told them we were going to press from the beginning, especially after last night having such success with it in the fourth quarter. But we were just reaching a lot, not moving our feet, not playing solid defense, getting away from the habits that we normally have. But it's just, I think it was a lot of dead legs and just compensating by trying to reach too much.
Yeah, and Coach, Josh already mentioned it, playing back-to-back. Just speak to how you prepped for that, how you might have changed something up, or if you kept everything the same to prep for back-to-back.
Just we told them to forget about that game, move forward. We came in today, we kind of took it a little bit easier. We gave them the scatter report on Waverly, talked about it, got in the ice bath today and tried to recuperate and recover. But we just told them, like, we have to come out super aggressive, try to be tough, and just push through it.
Yeah, and Coach, your play of the game here with you, Haley Gordon. I just want you to talk about her, especially on the defensive side tonight. She stepped up big. Just talk about her and her performance.
She's a spark, right? Everybody says she's a jackrabbit on acid. She's just running around out there. But she's solid. She's moving her feet. She's super quick, hard to go by, and she's got active hands. And I think the greatest attribute she has is really reading that passing lane and seeing the next pass. It's something that a lot of players don't possess, and you either got it or you don't, and she does. And thank God she's on my team, right?
Well, Coach Gordon, we appreciate taking the time to be with us here during this halftime show. Once again, we congratulate you on the win. Wish you the best of luck Thursday against Perry County. But now we are joined by the player of the game, young Miss Haley Gordon. Now, Haley, it looked like tonight you were firing on all cylinders. What really changed tonight for you that hasn't really been there the last few games?
So I feel like I haven't really been doing much for the team offensively. So I've talked to my coaches some, and they told me to attack because I did that last year and it worked out pretty well. So I've been more focused on that during like practicing and stuff, and I feel like it worked out tonight.
Now, Haley, you just mentioned attacking the basket tonight. You did that a lot more. Speak to how that changes your mentality, not only at the start of the game, but just throughout the game, having an attacking mentality.
Yeah, I feel like it makes me more confident, especially when I hit a few in the beginning, because then I'll just keep attacking, you know. I feel like it just helps me out a lot, especially if I hit one, then I'm back on defense and I'm more like fired up and stuff, and I want the ball again.
My last question for you. Now, this could really be asked to any member of the Lady Dogs, but whenever you come off a loss against Marshall County, I mean, what was your headspace like? Where was your mindset at coming into this game tonight?
I wanted to win badly, like really bad, because I feel like we played hard in the last minutes of that game, but I don't know. I just wanted to beat somebody up today.
Well, those are some awesome answers, Haley. We appreciate you joining us here. Once again, congratulations on the big win, and we wish you luck on Thursday against Perry County. Ladies and gentlemen, here in just a few moments, we will have second half basketball. Hickman County leads 36-31. We'll be right back. And we are now just under a minute to go until we will resume with some Hickman County hoops here for the second half. Now, Cam, watching that first half, Hickman County looked a little dead on their feet. They looked almost zombie-ish. And, of course, we can credit that a lot to last night's game, but I'm sure Coach Dawson isn't going to take that as an excuse, right?
I mean, Josh, I have seen more exciting paint being dried. It is a slow pace. Like, this is not Hickman County basketball, right? We have seen them all season be successful running and gunning and throwing the ball deep and taking chances, but they're not wild chances. But, like, I want to see us in this second half. Josh, why is Waverly within 20 points right now? It's because a lack of effort and listen, you can't say it. We've talked about Braden Brown and we've talked about Elisha, right? They always give effort, but we have got to get somebody getting us going, be a spark plug. The first quarter, it was a solid quarter. You know, you go out and score almost 20 points, maybe 20 points, and then the second quarter, you just don't replicate that at all. You've got to come out with an energy to put this team away, and right now, they seem to be okay with a 5-point lead. You can't be okay with that. It's basketball. Things can change so quickly.
Elisha Puckett with 13 points. Dylan Qualls with 11. They have been the two leading scorers. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Dylan Qualls comes out and plays this second half. He has been a guy who has been silently so productive for this team right behind Elisha. So Qualls now gives to McDonald in the paint, tries to find Blystead, gets his own pass, and he's fouled trying to get it out to Charlie. So Hickman will be inbounding from the baseline. And Elisha finds McKinnon underneath, and it's good.
And that's a great job there by Tyler McKinnon, not bringing that ball down, keeping it the same spot you called it at and putting it right back up. Great job being a senior, knowing the right thing to do.
On the ball, mishandled Qualls on the breakaway, puts it up, layup, and one for Dylan Qualls. Right on cue, Cam. He is starting off this second half hot, and if he can cap off this three-point play, I think that will spell a lot greater things to come for the rest of this game for number 11.
Yeah, it's been a quick 30 seconds coming out of halftime. Already gotten a couple of buckets, and we're looking a lot better.
And Qualls drains the and one.
Qualls completes the three-point play.
It's now 41-31, your score. And Cam, it didn't take very long for this to go from a 5-point lead to a 10-point lead. Now, maybe Hickman doesn't seem as theatric or as animated as they usually are. But if they're still playing with a certain fire, as long as they're still winning, I suppose that's what matters. Is Wagner goes up and he gets an and one of his own. Now he goes to the line to look to cap off his own three-point play.
The two guys that have been so impressive from Waverly tonight are Wagner and Burns. They have been bucket getters all night for this Waverly offense, keeping them in this thing.
And the end one free throw is good. 41-34 your score. Puckett gives McDonald, pulls it down, dribbles in to the free throw line, gives up to Blystad. Now back to Qualls. Qualls to Tyler McKinnon. Now the corner, McDonald pulls up. No good, just short. But McKinnon picks it up, puts it back, no good, knocked away. And Blystad was fighting Ramsey for the rock. And it forces the jump ball. Waverly will now take possession. Just under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Now, Josh, the Bulldogs just switched into their 1-3-1. Now, it's been a very good defense for them all year as a three from Burns.
And he knocks it down. And Waverly definitely not going away. They're scratching and clawing back into this one, trail by 4, 41-37. Elisha on the baseline, spin move, puts it up and in.
And Josh, that's just another great example of Elisha Puckett using the perfect pacing to get his shot.
And Brooks pump fakes Ramsey, a deep three, no good off the back of the rim. McKinnon with the rebound, feeds to Elisha. Elisha drives in, floater, got it. It has been an Elisha Puckett takeover so far in this second half.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Brooks gives to Wagner, McKinnon on him, he tries to back him down. And that's a tough two there from number 33 of Waverly.
Now, Josh, both post defenders we've had so far, Kylan Seal and Tyler McKinnon, Wagner has done a very good job, but he is either at that size or smaller than McKinnon. You have to beat him to the spot. That's something we have not done good all night on defense, is beat the offensive player to the spot he wants to go to.
And Brooks pulls up from three. No good. Rebounded by Heaton. Off his thigh. Wagner picks it up, and his foot was on the baseline. Hickman County.
Watch out!
Now Hickman with possession. Elisha brings it up the floor. Out of Qualls. Qualls looks to drive. Kicks it out. Blystad pulls up from the right corner. No good. A tough rebound by Elisha. And he'll dribble it back out to the left corner. And he'll pull up from three. Oh, no good off the rim. Brooks with the rebound. And it's on a fast break. Oh, but a nice job there by Elisha to halt his progress. He forces Waverly to slow down. And McDonald knocks it away. One-on-one. And he's fouled by Burns. And Cam, it looks like McDonald took exception to that, but I think Burns, man, that was a tough fall. I hope this young man's okay. And it seems like some of the coaches are on the floor. Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, let's hope so, Josh. Now, McDonald, not a dirty play at all. He was just simply going up for the layup. The kid came over the top of him and landed hard. You know, nothing on McDonald, but you hate to see this. Slow to get up.
The coach is helping him back up, and the fans, of course, on both sides showing some class and applauding the young man for being back on his feet. Walking under his own power, it looks like, so hopefully he'll be all right. And Cam, for Waverly, I mean, you don't want to see anyone hurt, but for Burns, I mean, he's been one of their main producers here tonight, one of their main playmakers. They'll probably give him a little bit of rest, but I'd expect to see him back in this game before too long.
Yeah, Josh, the only way I don't see him come back in this game is them putting him through concussion protocol. He looks a little dazed right now, but hopefully, this young man can get back in this game.
And of course, to the left of your screen, they're cleaning up the floor down there, of course, a lot of sweat. We don't need anyone else slipping and falling, Cam, so it's a good thing we're taking care of the court right now, keeping these players safe. And Will McDonald will go to the line. Free throw number one is up and good for Will.
And I think these couple of free throws could be huge for McDonald's confidence. Just like we talked with Delaney King, stepping up, seeing the ball go in can do wonders for you.
And number two falls for Will. And now Cam, remember, Will McDonald, the player of the game yesterday, coming off of an 11-point performance. I mean, only has 4 tonight, but of course, still 13 minutes left to go in this game. Plenty of time for Will to add to that total.
And Josh, but we've both mentioned it. We want to see more aggressiveness from him. He's a great shot maker. I would love to see him be aggressive enough to take more.
On a deep three there, no good by Damesworth, rebounded by Puckett. And it rolls on the floor, and Qualls will be the one to finally pick it up. Elisha gives the corner, blasted, open three. No good off the rim. Williams there to corral the ball for Waverly. Williams there gives at the free throw stripe to Wagner. Backing down, McKinnon, and he loses it. And Elisha picks it up along the left side of the floor. Nice behind the back there by Elisha. Step back, give to Blystad. And puck it over to Qualls. Out of McDonald. Wants to drive, a tough move there. And he's fouled on the floor.
And a great job there by McDonald to drive the ball. Like we just mentioned it, we love seeing him get more aggressive. That's a part of it, is trying to force that ball inside to make a play. It forced the defense to foul there. Great job.
There's some confusion there. I think McDonald thought he was going to go to the line, but they do make the correction, and Elisha will inbound from the baseline. Finds Qualls in the paint, puts it up, good off the glass. 49-39 your score. The Dogs extend their lead back to 10, and with 4 minutes to go in the third. Brooks with the ball, dribbles, Blystad on him. Now over to Williams.
Now the Dogs have switched back to a man-to-man defense.
And Brooks, a deep three, knocks it down for Waverly. Hickman County wasting no time, trying to answer back. Qualls the right wing. Turns back around, looks to set up. Gives over to McKinnon in the right corner. McKinnon gives back to Qualls. Elisha pulls up from 3. No good. Nice rebound and put back by Will McDonald.
Yeah, and you love seeing the little things from Will. As soon as we mention it, there's an automatic turn in aggressiveness from him. I love it.
And Brooks loses handle. Blystead picks it up to McDonald. McDonald, oh! Look to lob it to Elisha. I think that ball was tipped in by Waverly. Oh my goodness, a circus play of sorts. Who do we give that bucket to? I guess Will McDonald gets credit. Well, Waverly with the ball. Wagner on the baseline. Oh, a tough pass to Ramsey. Tipped away, but Brooks corrals it. And Ramsey drives in. Looks to pass to Wagner, but he is fouled by Charlie Blystead as he was going into the paint.
Josh, I've decided the credit for that bucket should go to Jesus Christ, as he should get credit for all things.
And Waverly here to inbound. It's Williams. Pass into Ramsey, gets away, but he does pick it up off the ground, puts it up in a 2 for Waverly. 53-44 your score, 9-point game.
And Waverly has come out in some sort of a zone press, but easily broken there by the Dogs.
And Tim Puckett back in the game, gives to Brown at the left wing. Now the corner, Will McDonald being double teamed. Oh, gives it to Elisha, dangerous pass. Tough left-handed pass to Brown. Now back to Tim Puckett. And Tim for 3. Welcome to the game, Timothy Puckett.
Josh, I love watching that young man shoot the ball.
His first three-pointer since Fairview on Friday. Glad to see him back on the floor doing what he does best. Now Burns back in the game for Waverly after that tough fall he took earlier. Now Damesworth with the ball, screened by Ramsey, seal on him, tries to pass in the paint. Ramsey comes up with it, and the 2 does not fall, gets his own rebound and puts it back. Now Will McDonald. Pass to Timothy at the logo. Tim drives in, jump stop, mid-range. Oh, no good, rebounded by Waverly. Just over a minute and a half to go in the third quarter of play. Dogs lead by 10. Williams at the left wing. Gives over to Burns. Burns over to Dilly. Dilly to Damesworth, and Damesworth knocks down the 3. Brown inbounds to Elisha. Elisha back over to Brown. A lot of passes here. What a tough pass, and a perfect one to McDonald, and a nice job of being patient by Will McDonald to wait out the defender and then put up the easy 2. Give Elisha an incredible assist.
Yeah, a wonderful job there, McDonald, to have the presence of mind to know that this guy's been jumping at me all night. Let me just get him up in the air for an easy bucket.
Damesworth passes to Ramsey. Ramsey back out to Damesworth. Timothy there to meet him. Brown to meet Dilly. Not letting him pass. Burns pulls up a deep 3. No good off the rim, and a nice rebound by Elisha. The Bulldogs moving quickly. Elisha to the corner, Tim Puckett. He wanted to pull up again, but doesn't. Now back to Elisha, drives into the paint. Nice layup, and it's in.
And Josh, what is so awesome about Elisha Puckett is that he's actually left-hand dominant, but shoots the basketball right-handed. But that makes him so valuable in finishing because both hands are so skilled.
Cam, mind you, Elisha has 19 points, none of which have come on a 3. And Puckett with the steal. He's all alone. And Elisha with the jam. Make that 21
Josh,
points, Cam.
This crowd is not fired up after a dunk. I mean, they've got to bring the energy tonight. Yeah, how can you not be excited? Hopefully, as we talked about earlier, that at least energizes the bench guys and the rest of the team for the rest of the game.
We'll have to bring the energy ourselves, Cam, but at the end of the third quarter, Hickman County leads 62-49. We'll be right back for fourth quarter action. And we're back after our brief break. And Cam, Elisha Puckett has been putting on a show so far in this second half. Of course, we just saw the dunk there by Elisha. And of course, I think he's trying to put some energy not only into his team, but into this crowd as well.
Yeah, Josh, and like I mentioned earlier, the energy in this building is so low. So this team has to make their own energy. Like, look, I get they are a more talented team, and we are expecting to win this game. But that is no, like, you know, I appreciate the people that came out today, but we've got to get more energy in this building. Elisha Puckett's putting on a show for us.
And Brown driving in to start the fourth quarter. Nice pass to Elisha. Elisha will cap it off with a 2-point bucket and give Brown the assist. So 64-49 your score, 7:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Brooks now with the ball for Waverly. Drives in, pulls up, a tough shot there, won't fall. Rebounded by Elisha, and he's moving quickly to Seal. Seal back to Elisha, back to Seal. Seal puts it up and in. Seal with his second bucket of the game, and the head coach for Waverly is forced to call a timeout. The momentum solely with Hickman County right now.
Awesome back and forth there between Elisha and Seal, both making the correct play to give it back and forth. They had one Waverly defender on the weak side, right? So now it is a 2-on-1 on the right side of the basket. They played that perfectly. They made him finally make a decision. Once the guy made a decision, the dish off happened. Great job there by Seal to give it back.
And Cam, what I've seen a lot of tonight, you know, usually when we see the Bulldogs go on these big runs, we see a lot of three-pointers, a lot of big plays. But tonight, I think the name of the game for Hickman has been their teamwork, the chemistry they've had. We've seen some phenomenal assists by these Bulldogs, as we just saw one by Braden Brown not all that long ago to Elisha Puckett. I mean, these Bulldogs are working really well together tonight.
Yeah, Josh, and I think that's a big thing when the energy isn't high. You know each other so well, you can play through that, right? You might not be ready to run through a wall, but you do know each other's game enough and have been around each other enough to trust each other that the job will get done.
Now, Cam, Hickman County only 3 points off of their total from last night, of course, was 69, and we still have almost a full quarter left to go. So Waverly, after the timeout, brings up the floor. It's Brooks. Brooks gives to Heaton, high post. Dribbles in on McDonald, gives back out to Ramsey. Ramsey hands to Brooks. Brooks pulls up from deep. Oh, and it rolls around and falls out, but Ramsey gets the putback. And Cam, the rim is certainly not a bit on the side of the Tigers here tonight.
Yeah, the rim has done them a couple of favors, but, you know, we're scoreboard, baby, scoreboard.
And McDonald in the left corner, dribbling around Heaton. Gives back out to Brown up top. Now over to Tim. Wants to pull up but doesn't. Stops and feeds over to his brother Elisha. Elisha step back corner. Will McDonald from three. Buries it. That's Will McDonald's first three of the game.
And Josh, it has been such a turnaround from him ever since I said something about him. I guess he heard me because he has turned it on.
I think he really just hates admitting you're right about some things, Cam.
Yeah,
I think
that's mostly
drives
it.
in, gets denied by Elisha. And Elisha now bring up the floor, gives to Brown. Brown to the corner, McDonald. Ooh, wanted to pull up again. Bill dribbles into the paint. Take it himself. Tough move there. But he is fouled, and that will take Will McDonald to the free throw line. And Cam, that was a very confident drive in there by Will McDonald. He said, I'm going to do this myself. And he might not have made the shot, but he's still going to the line to shoot too.
And keep making that happen, Josh. You know, we talked about it over and over and over, and he's stepping up and doing it. And I think he can set an example for so many of these guys, though, because the two easiest ways to get buckets are passing and a good, efficient drive. And when you drive that ball, understand, if I draw two defenders, I'm kicking. If I still have my primary defender on me, then I can make a move and get to the rim.
And Cam, something that should be noted is McDonald knocks down his second free throw. Wagner and Heaton, two of the big men for Waverly, have checked out in this game in favor of Williams and Dilly. So Waverly certainly looking to pick up the pace with some more speed. Dilly drives in on Brown, puts it up, no good. But he will be fouled, and that will send Dilly to the line.
And yes, that was a foul there by Brown, but that's one of those fouls that was just a hustle foul. He was playing as hard as he could, and it happened. So great job there by Brown.
And Dilly will make his first free throw as some substitutions for the Bulldogs. Tim Puckett, Kylan Seal, and Elisha Puckett checking out. Worley, Blystad, and Folks checking in. Qualls and Brown remain on the floor. Free throw number 2 now for Dilly. It's up, no good off the rim, and a tough rebound by Worley gives to Brown. Brown, a missile pass to Blystad, picked up, given to Folks. Folks back over to Brown. Brown to Qualls. Qualls being double teamed. Tries to get off to Worley, but just too many hands there, Cam, and Waverly gets the takeaway.
Yeah, and we went into that offensive possession with zero plan, zero organization.
And Dilly drives, and Worley was looking to knock the air out of that basketball on that swipe. But Dilly is fouled, and that will send him to the line. 71-52 your score. Hickman leads, 5:33 to go in the game. And the first one bounces in and out. The second free throw is no good, and Brody Worley comes up with yet another rebound. Brown gives over to Qualls. Qualls will take it himself, goes behind the back and gives to Blystad. Over to the corner. What a nice job by Worley to keep a hand on it, and that ball is going to sail on the other side of the court. Oh, and Dilly just outsized there by Dylan Qualls. Really never had a chance. So a nice play there by Qualls to save a basket, and he'll drive in and get fouled by Williams.
Yeah, Josh, 5 minutes, yes, we're up 19, but it's just like the girls' game. We have 5 minutes left in the game. Take care of the basketball. We're being sloppy with it. We're not having a plan on offense. We're just kind of throwing the ball around and hoping someone ends up open. Let's make something happen with a purpose. Let's make a clear decision and a decisive decision to pass ahead and look for, again, short, purposeful passes. I've said it a million times. I'm going to keep saying it. That's what we need.
Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that following this game, we will have a word from Coach Chris Dawson, and in the event of a victory, we will hear from a player of the game as well. And folks, if you're upset that this game has to end, don't worry, we'll be back on Thursday. Right back here in J.E. Cisco as the Bulldogs will host Perry County. The ball is inbounded now to Worley. Worley being double teamed, looking for help. Goes all the way to the corner to the tall Qualls. Dribbles on the baseline, pass over to Folks. Can't get a handle on it, and Waverly now looking to gain some offense.
And Qualls has to be under control there. You're driving to the basket. You can't just jump up and go out of bounds. As he takes a hard ball.
With a tough and one there is Qualls. My word, seeing that 6'4" frame fly at you must be terrifying. But a nice job there. Credit given to Ralston of Waverly for staying tough. And some substitutions here. Seal, McDonald, Hutchison, and Puckett, Timothy, in for the Bulldogs. And Elisha checks back in as well. So it's a full team switch here. And the end one shot by Ralston is up and no good. Hutchison, nice rebound. Welcome to the game, young man. And Tim gives to Elisha. Elisha dribbles up the floor. Mid-range shot. Oh, it's good.
And Josh, when he hits that stop on a dime jump shot, it is just the most beautiful play.
I mean, it gets me fired up, Cam. And now Brooks gives over to Williams in the right corner. Ramsey at the free throw stripe, dribbles in on Seal. Oh, and Seal just rips it away from him. But Ralston comes up with it. Paskovich, deep three, no good. And Elisha getting double team. Great pass, Tim Puckett. Three!
Bucket!
Brother to brother. Give Tim the bucket. Give Elisha the assist.
Josh, this young man has got an absolute strap on him. Let that thing fly, young blood.
And Brooks now with the ball up top. Pulls up from three. Good. And Cam, Brooks is a great shooter for Waverly.
He really is. He's a small guy, definitely a young guy, but hey, that little step back behind the back deal he's got, it's a great move.
Elisha corner, McDonald from three. No good. Rebounded by Seal. Seal puts it up, no good, but McDonald comes in to help. And he'll dribble it back out and give over to Tim. Tim floats it to Elisha. Elisha Williams on him. Now he'll drive. Mid-range floater. Do I even need to say it?
Automatic, Josh.
It's good.
Automatic.
It is Christmas time, so I guess I should say Elisha Puckett is colder than the North Pole, Cam. He is something else, and a timeout is taken as Waverly tries to formulate some game plan to stop this Hickman County offense. And at this stage, I'm not sure if there's anything they can do. I mean, a large gap separates the two. Hickman County 78, Waverly 57, with 3:02 remaining in the game. And
yeah, and Josh, the big thing, honestly, for both of these teams is these last 3 minutes, go out and play your heart out, right? You only have 3 minutes left in this game. Leave those 3 minutes all out on the floor. Don't leave anything left.
I mean, you never want to leave a basketball game with regrets, right? You never want to say, well, we could have done this. Well, if only we did this one thing better. You don't have those if you play a complete basketball game, no matter what the score is, no matter how much time is left. Give it your all. And Elisha, Tim, Will McDonald, Kylan Seal, and Taylor Hutchinson in for the Bulldogs. Paskovich drives in. Tough shot. No good. And Elisha with the rebound. Elisha gives to McDonald. McDonald drives in himself. No good, but he is fouled. And that will send McDonald to the free throw line. Cam, I'm glad I caught myself. I almost called Taylor Hutchison Aiden Hutchison. But we're staying with it. That shot is good by McDonald. And Cam, if there's any player that Taylor wants to be compared to, I mean, Aiden Hutchinson, one of the best defenders in the NFL.
Yeah, Josh, and that young man gets after it, and I think Hutchinson's doing that just here.
Gives down, say Waverly has some of their young guys in now as well. They'll hand off, Paskovich drives, tries to give it back out, but Tim Puckett, the elevation on Tim. Give him the takeaway. Oh, and Tim walks there. Got a little ahead of himself.
Wait, Josh, I know he made a mistake. I love seeing that from Tim Puckett. I know the young man has good ball skills. I want to see him used more.
Waverly on the corner, passes in the paint. No one there, and it goes out of bounds on a Waverly. 2:07 now remain, 79-57 your score. Elisha inbounds to Tim. Elisha from deep, no good, just short. And a nice rebound by Hutchison. Gives it over to McDonald. McDonald drives, gives back out to Puckett. Spin move, drive on the baseline, puts it up and in. Add a couple of more to the already impressive night from Elisha Puckett. And a deep three from Damesworth, no good. Off the rim, another rebound by Hutchison. He's been collecting several boards, and a lob to Seal, cut off by Waverly. Although he does prevent the potential alley-oop, he does knock out of bounds, and possession will stay with Hickman County. And Atticus Lane is now checked in for Elisha. Probably the last time we'll see number 12 in this game.
I would assume so, Josh. I think he's put this game a little out of reach.
And Tim deep inbound to Hutchison. Gives Puckett over to Atticus. Lane gives over to McDonald. McDonald drives into the paint. Passes it back to Seal. Seal puts it up, no good. Tries for a putback, that also no good. And Lane trying to force a jump ball. Instead, a foul is called.
And Josh, we've seen something tonight that is not very typical. Kylan Seal has struggled at times. Let's be honest. He hasn't been able to find the bottom of the basket tonight, I don't believe. And he's just been a little off, but I don't think that's going to continue.
A deep three, no good. Rebounded by McDonald. Fast break. A couple men to beat. Puts it up, no good off the glass, but Seal comes flying in and caps it off. Seal's third bucket of the night, his 6th point. Gives Damesworth. Hands over, three-pointer from Waverly. No good off the back of the rim. Tim Puckett there. Pass to Seal. One-on-one. Nice pump fake, and he'll put it up. And Cam, it seems like these Hickman County players can hear every word you say. The moment you mention someone's name, they go on an absolute tear.
I know, and I love.
Of course. And Hutchison knocks it away. McDonald pass to Hutchison. Oh, it's just short, but he puts back his own miss. And Cam, with how hard Taylor Hutchison has been playing tonight, he deserves to have him a bucket or two on the night.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh.
And a deep three by Damesworth knocks it down. Impressive three with under 10 seconds to go. And Seal passes into McDonald, and the Bulldogs will sit on it. And that will do it here in J.E. Cisco. Your final score, Hickman County 87, Waverly 60. And Cam, what a game it was for Hickman County. We were worried they would come out looking sluggish, and while we had our questions, we had our doubts, I mean, putting up 87 points in high school is impressive.
Now, Josh, tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe we had 38 at halftime.
I believe so.
That is an insane amount of points to have and a half in high school basketball from those young men. Obviously, a part of it you have to attribute to Elisha Puckett. He had an absolute showcase night. But Will McDonald, after I criticized him a little bit, just decided to show up to the game, and I'm glad he did because he went on a tear. Dylan Qualls, great first half from him. He really kept him in the game. Again, it is a tough thing to do to play back-to-backs. The energy was not insanely high. There was no just exceptional, diving on the floor, craziness. They weren't super sharp in the first half. But listen, when you come out in that second half and take care of business, it's going to be a long night for the other team.
Oh, absolutely, Cam. And we're looking over the stat sheet here, and there were several guys. They got some big buckets here tonight. I mean, I'm looking at Kylan Seal, known for his aggressiveness on defense and getting offensive boards. Not really a big point getter for this Hickman County team. He had 8 tonight. I mean, to some, that may seem like a small amount, but for this team, that is a big contribution when you have guys like Elisha Puckett, Dylan Qualls, and Will McDonald consistently putting up over 15 or 20 points a night, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. 8 pieces, nothing to be ashamed of, and I sure am glad that he put up all that after I said that. I mean, he proved me wrong, and I love it when they prove me wrong like that. Again, an all-around great effort, all-around great performance from these young men. They have been, again, that first half, sloppy. That second half was just, that is what Hickman County basketball can be. And that is something that is beautiful, and it is scary.
Oh, I agree, Cam. And this team, they make our job easy. Right, I wake up every morning on game day, and I'm thrilled to come out here to J.E. Cisco or even to drive, even if it's an hour or two. I love doing that because I love watching this team play basketball, and it's so awesome, as not only a sports fan, but as someone who went to school here to get to be a part of this team in a way, and I really appreciate you joining me on this journey, Cam. It's been a great time. It's even better when you win, and in Hickman County has done a lot of winning these last 2 days. Not only today with Hickman County getting a big win, the boys rather, the girls also get a big win. Yesterday, girls couldn't get it done, but the guys, man, a thrilling game. And I'm looking to see more of the same on Thursday. I'm looking to see the girls and guys come back here. They get a night of rest, right? Tomorrow night, I'm not sure how Coach Gordon and Coach Dawson will be prepping these guys and girls tomorrow night, but I'm sure he's going to emphasize rest. Now, you have an experience, Cam, with basketball. I know you played several years. How do you think these coaches will go about prepping these guys? Do you think they focus on mental rest, or do they go right back in the gym tomorrow and hone their skill, hone their craft?
Based on the two performances we saw tonight, I would focus a little more than normal on rest. I would, because they were dealing with some dead legs at times. We talked about with both teams, there was a little bit of a lack of sharpness to both of them, and I think that's obviously attributed partially at least to the you just being tired. Like it was an exhausting night last night. So definitely more rest, but above that, because they weren't as sharp tonight, I'm expecting tomorrow at practice, and I can't guarantee this, but some sense of like, we're going to run all of our sets, we're going to run all of our offense, all of our defense, we're going to work on transitioning between defenses. It's working on the little things because they were missing tonight, right? And if I'm Coach Dawson, if I'm Coach Gordon, I'm focusing on two things: making sure everybody knows the right position on defense and offense to be in at all times, all 5 players being locked in, and 2, I'm shooting a lot. Something I noticed tonight is not a lot of action from downtown. Of course, Tim Puckett, absolute sniper, he made some things happen, but outside of him, and I think Dylan hit 1-3.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring that to light a little bit. We never see that from Dylan, and really when he hit that 3, Cam, I saw a bit of a grin on Dylan's face, almost like I just did that, because anybody that watches film on Hickman County, they are guarding Dylan Qualls in the paint, because when he gets those long strides and he goes up to the basket, he's hard to stop. So now, not only do you have to watch out for this guy driving in and enforcing his will on a defense, now all of a sudden you see this guy hit a 3 and you think, that wasn't on our scouting report. What do we do? And it can send the coaches into a bit of a panic, because it pretty much throws all of their scouting out the window.
And I would love to see him do it more, that touched only the bottom of the net. And it was a beautiful shot to watch go in. The whoosh that net made was so pure, Carmelo Anthony-esque, if you will. But, it's one of those, it brings a versatility that knowing that he can do that, and maybe that puts more of a belief in him, because there are times that he seems a little indecisive on what to do. Don't be afraid to pull the trigger. You see Elisha do that. You see Will McDonald did it a couple times tonight. Pull that trigger from deep. Don't be afraid. And that just makes this so much more dangerous.
And Cam, I'm glad you mentioned Will McDonald. I'm looking at his stats here tonight. He did have the 1 3-pointer. He did have a couple of tough layups, some mid-range buckets. But Cam, he made 5 free throws here tonight. And I think that is a testament to his aggressiveness, to his play style tonight, to his mentality of I will not be denied. And I think that's something that he's been missing a little bit the last few games. We saw a hint of it last night in his 11-point performance. But Cam, tonight he put up 16. Right, 5 of those points coming at the line, having the 1-3, but then a couple of tough 2s for Will as well. He has really turned it on this week.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. And what I loved seeing even more so than that is Will in the second half. He was not put in with this. He wasn't, with the starters most of the time. He was with, at least 2 or 3 bench guys. And he stepped up and led when he was on offense. That's something that we've been missing. When Elisha Puckett goes out of the game, who's going to be the one to step up? It's been a couple of times Dylan that stepped up, but sometimes he hasn't necessarily been there. And I think Will would be an amazing second option to have. Having him be an enforcer on offense, that could change a lot of things. And again, talking about offensive versatility, Dylan shooting from deep, but Will being an enforcer, driving the ball inside and being, a bit of a ball handler.
Well, Cam, what we forget, too, is Will McDonald is 6'3". He's a big guy. He is not small at all. And I think if he really utilizes his size, of course, when we see him play, he doesn't necessarily play like a big man, right? But you see guys like Dylan Qualls, who's 6'4", huge wingspan, right? Guys like Dylan use that to their advantage, and I think we're starting to see Will McDonald really starting to play into his body here these last few games, and he has done so well, and I'm looking forward to seeing him hopefully only go up from here.
Yeah, Josh, and you know, you mentioning that, you know, it's not his play style, it's not what he's comfortable with, but he has to realize at times it's what the team needs, right? It doesn't make you one-dimensional, and I think him tonight deciding to be, honestly, a three-dimensional player, because he did make a couple, or he didn't necessarily make the shot, but he took a couple mid-range shots too that, you know, made the defense step up on him in the mid-range. So being a three-level scorer is super important. You know, Elisha is a classic three-level scorer that thrives in the mid-range. You know, he can look for a shot outside. He wants to get the ball to the inside. But if you give him that mid-range shot, he's going to take it all day. If Will McDonald can replicate that, can say, all right, you're not giving me the three, let me just one dribble pull up. Oh, you stepped up there? Let me just get to the rim. I think that is such a game changer.
Yeah, and I think really that goes for a lot of these young Bulldogs, right? Not being one-dimensional, not being too predictable. If you have multiple skills that you bring to the table, I mean, that makes you a lot more dangerous on the floor. But Cam, let's not forget a very important thing here. These young men, they love basketball, and they're only high schoolers, right? These guys, if they want to look forward to college, getting offers from different schools, right, they need to be multi-dimensional, right? While it is important to have kind of your specialty, right, I think you do have to diversify a little bit, unless you're just a generational shooter like Steph Curry, for example, right? But that's 1 in a million.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. And somebody I wanted to talk to about tonight, Braden Brown. If you look at his stat sheet, he had 0 points on the night. But if you watch that game, you recognize the impact that he had tonight. I mean, he was everywhere doing all the little things right. On offense, he knows that his role is not necessarily to be an enforcer. He's not trying to do too much. But you know what he is doing? He's making the right decisions. Braden is most effective pump faking, dribbling in, penetrating the defense, sucking 2 defenders in, and kicking out and getting an open three. Now, did those threes go down tonight? Not necessarily, but in the future, like you mentioned earlier, this team, they can light it up from deep. So later on, that's going to be so valuable when he can get the floor small so that they can spread it out. And, you know, that young man is just the most he's one of my favorite players to watch because it is always just 100%.
And Cam, one of my biggest pet peeves actually in sports, just when I'm watching, whether it be the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, whatever it might be, I hate fans that are only box score watchers, right? You look at the stat sheet, you say, well, why in the world are we praising this guy? This guy's underproducing. He's underperforming. Why is he on the team, right? Because they just look at the stats and they don't actually watch the game, right? And if you watch the game here tonight, you really see the value that Braden Brown brings to this team. And Coach Dawson, I mean, he would go to bat for this young man to anyone, right? He is so talented, so impressive, and he's only a sophomore. A lot of room to grow. But Cam, something I noticed as well, Hickman County gave up more points tonight than they did to Waverly. Now, that could be attributed to a lot more of the younger guys getting play here tonight later in the game, but I'm sure that's something Coach Dawson talked about. Was guys, look, we need to tighten up a little bit, right? It's easy to get in that lazy, lackadaisical mindset when you feel like, you know, you should win by a lot. So I think it's important that, and we've said this countless times, that Hickman needs to play all 4 quarters, no matter the score, no matter the opponent. But Cam, when push comes to shove, Hickman County's 6-4, right? They started off with a rough schedule, right? Not only did they have to go to Marshall County, second game of the season, but then right after that, they went to Siegel, right, to play the Thanksgiving tournament. And they played 2 tough opponents in Siegel and Knoxville-Bearden. So I think now that they have that behind them, and I think really those tough games early is what makes them a better team.
Yeah, Josh, and listen, there has been just it's a tough schedule, and getting started early with the expectations that they had, let's be honest, they had a mountain of expectations coming in. They made that state tournament last year. They're expected to do it again, so I think that could be a part of it too.
And ladies and gentlemen, to cap off our night, we would end it no other way. We are joined by Coach Dawson and his player of the game, well-deserved Tim Puckett. Now, Coach Dawson, we thank you for joining us here tonight. We want to congratulate you first and foremost on a big win. Now, we know last night a lot of energy, and what that energy does, it can leave a lot of tired bodies for the next night. So how did you keep your guys prepared and ready to go for tonight playing back-to-back?
Well, whatever I did, I need to do something different next time. We didn't, and we knew going in, like, as much as you say you're ready and you say you feel all right, like, that was an emotional game with a lot of energy, the quick turnaround, and a team that we handled easily 3 times last year. And as much as you can say, we got to focus, we got to do this, we got to do that, it's just hard to do. And that's not, not just with high school kids, but that's hard. College basketball, the NBA, you look at them on second night of back-to-backs. It's difficult. So we didn't play all that well, especially our defensive effort was really poor tonight. I was really disappointed in that. But, that kind of is a statement to where our program's at right now. If you were in the locker room, you probably would have thought we lost after the game, and we won by 27 points. So we have an expectation for ourselves, and it wasn't met tonight, and we all know that. So we'll get some rest, and we got to bounce back better on Thursday night.
Well, I would say having that high expectation is certainly a good thing, and it's a sign of a good coach as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. Now, Coach, you mentioned not playing the greatest defense, but one young man that I noticed played very well on defense tonight, and he's done it all season long, is Braden Brown. Just speak to him and the impact that he makes.
Well, we think Braden's going to be a really good player for us. He's we're not a real quick team. That's probably one of our weaknesses, and he does bring some of that. He's aggressive. He's very competitive, and I know what I'm going to get every time he goes in the game. That's not to say he's going to make all the right plays and make all the shots, but I know what kind of effort I'm going to get from him, and he can kind of get things going. It wasn't a great night for us, but we did have some bright spots. Elisha was, after last night, he turned right around and had 31 tonight and multiple dunks and just felt like he could score any time. But, we dominated the paint last night, and tonight we lost the paint. And that was disappointing to me. And it was just, like I said, a little bit of lackadaisical approach, I think. And, as a staff, we're probably a little guilty of that as well as the players. So it's not all on them. As a group, we just have to have a better approach. We understand that. So.
Now, Coach, this team likes to shoot it from deep, but tonight, not the greatest percentage. They weren't feeling it tonight. How do you adjust as a coach when they're not shooting well from the distance?
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, Coach Peters. You got to get to the rim. And the inside-out three is way more effective than passing around the perimeter and shooting the three. And I'll give Waverly credit. They played with a lot of energy. They were the aggressor for 3 quarters tonight. But, if your net three-point shots aren't really going down, then you got to find another way to score. And we managed to score enough, but we got good shooters. You're not going to shoot it great every night. Hopefully we'll be a little bit better on Thursday night. So, just part of it.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach Dawson, we appreciate you joining us here. And once again, congratulations on the win tonight, and we look to see you guys back in action on Thursday against Perry County to hopefully go 3-0 on the week. But until then, thank you for joining us.
Thanks,
and we
guys.
are joined now by the player of the game, and we knew, Cam, it was only a matter of time before we saw him up here with us, young Tim Puckett. And Tim, the first thing I want to ask you and what I want to make notice of was earlier in the game, one of the most electric plays of the game, Elisha dishes to you, you pull up from 3, a brother-to-brother connection. What does it mean for you to go out there and get to play with your brother?
Yeah, we've been basically doing it all our life since we grew up, and it's just special to be able to play with him because he's a great player, and just great to rely on him sometimes.
Yeah, and Tim, I gotta say it, you are absolutely stroking it as of late from deep. It's been so impressive to watch that Fairview game. You had 4 or 5 from deep, and tonight you had a couple. Just speak to what goes into that.
Yeah, I struggled early on the year, but you just got to stay consistent and keep shooting because shooters shoot, and eventually it's going to even out, and that's what happened the last couple games.
Well, Tim, it's no secret to all those that have been at the games and those that have been watching via the stream that you really started getting a lot more minutes recently. Do you feel like Coach Dawson's really starting to trust you, watching you shoot and watching you be such a great supporting player?
I mean, yeah. I mean, what he wants is to not only just hit threes. He doesn't care about that. It's just play your heart out and, just try my hardest on defense as well.
Well, Tim, you certainly do that, and we thank you for joining us here tonight. Once again, congratulations on a big win and a great performance. Hoping to see another big performance from you on Thursday against Perry County. But until then, I've been Josh Copley alongside my broadcast colleague Cameron Peters here on WNKX. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you on Thursday, tip-off at 6 p.m.